That's right, I wrote something down about that. Elemental keys, 4 keys, 1 for each element, princes of elemental evil, red wizards, Zentarum, and devils teaming up in Dragon Spear conspiracy. So that was that.
What are we taking along for the journey?
I believe the first question would be, so this ambassador that we're escorting Arctic, does he have like I know which, well, first of all, I guess, how many soldiers are traveling with us to, where is it they're going to?
To Daggerford, I think.
Yeah,
As far as they're going?
Daggerford. Yeah, Daggerford.
You said a company, which is about 100.
Correct, yeah, that's right. The third company is about 100 halberds. Halberds wearing chain, and while it might seem a little bit bizarre that Waterdeep would send 100 of its own soldiers, because they are city guard, as opposed to City Watch, who are the police force, city guard of the military. So there are 100 city guards, so what are they being sent 150 miles away for? 2 things. First of all, Waterdeep's influence is pretty big. Being a very powerful city-state, 100 miles in any direction, Waterdeep considers very much its sphere of influence. In fact, 500 miles in any direction, Waterdeep considers its sphere of influence. So patrolling the roads 100 miles out of the city is hardly bizarre. It might, most other city-states won't go that far, but Waterdeep is an exception. The second reason is that Daggerford is a part of the Lord's Alliance. And while we High and Mighties in Waterdeep and in Baldur's Gate might look down on the little towns like Daggerford and Longsaddle and Anfale and see them as a kind of a hindrance to the ambitions of our city, the Lord's Alliance is built upon good relations with these lesser sisters. And Waterdeep and Baldur's Gate and the other big towns didn't pull their weight during the spell plague. It's largely felt, particularly in the north. Not so much in Daggerford. Daggerford kind of likes Waterdeep a lot. In fact, they almost idolise the place. But some of the other Lord's Alliance satellite towns, Longsaddle and Mirabar, they remember that when the Orc hordes destroyed the Silver Marches, the Lord's Alliance didn't do enough. And so the Silver Marches was a kind of alliance, much like the Lord's Alliance, and if they weren't willing to prop that up, why should anyone have faith in the Lord's Alliance? This is just, it's just another bureaucratic centralisation of power by the people in Waterdeep and Baldur's Gate. And so that's why it's very important that we convince these lesser towns that they are important.
Alright, so it's 120 miles to Daggerford, then 300
maybe more
from Waterdeep. Well,
yeah, you can't really trust these maps, but I've got a better map, so I'll bring that one. Here's the tradeway. This might be a little bit more accurate.
Do you want me to just run there and run back a couple hours?
Yeah, you could do it. Dodge the wyverns, though, and the chimeras, and the Zentarum armies, and try. Best if we go as a group.
Yeah.
Where's Daggerford on here?
Where is Daggerford?
Wouldn't it be the Waypost Water?
Daggerford. Here's Daggerford's here.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
At the ford.
Alright. By the way, what map is this? This is a bit different to the ones I've seen before.
Oh man, all the Forgotten Realms maps are different to each other, even the ones of the same edition.
Fair enough. So the scaling on this is kind of what we'll be using?
Exactly, yeah, this is like this pretty good tradeway map, this one, not going to get much better.
Alright, so 140 miles to Daggerford, that's what we'll be doing with the army. The travel pace is 24 miles in a day, so that's 6 days to get to there. I'm just calculating like rations and stuff, or do you just not bother tracking that?
I'll definitely track it, but I'd not necessarily track it. It is important, but you're not going into the jungle. You know, Daggerford has all the inns and towns you're likely to need. The Griffin Inn, you could probably drop into Liam's place at Liam's Hold. Whoever the hell Liam is, he's probably going to give you a beer. You know, when you've got 100 soldiers to feed, well, they'll be taking care of themselves. Waterdeep looks after its own men. Each of these guys have presumably 5 or 10 days rations, so they'll be okay. The tradeway is not what it used to be. The Spell Plague did a good job on it, but we've rebuilt over the past 20 years, and it's as populated as anywhere on almost. And so you should be able to get food relatively easily, even if it means going into an abandoned farm that was destroyed by orcs 20 years ago and reaping the wild wheat and growing among the weeds and the,
But it's still good to have rations just in case.
Absolutely. I'm not discouraging you from that. So, and you will have to keep track of it to something.
So this map does not go all the way to Borskir Bridge.
No, it doesn't, which is unfortunate. So I might switch us back to the north map again, and you'll see that Borskir Bridge isn't that much further along.
Well, I did have a pretty big question here, because this here is the 5e map, that other one looks like a 3rd edition map.
Correct.
And you'll notice that the road isn't marked in this area here.
That's right, and that's accurate. There is no... there is no... The road has been lost. It's still there, like in the same way as if you go across Romania in the modern era, you can find the Roman road if you look for it, but 100 years of lack of maintenance, 120 years, means that we're rebuilding it. Yeah, so this is actually a 4e map, not a 5e map, and so
this map here, no, this one's from Sword Coast Adventurer's Guide.
You're right, actually, it is. Yeah, it's a 5e. Yeah, you're right. Good point. But it's the start of the 5e era, and things are changing at the start, and so we're part of the group that are rebuilding this tradeway. Like, our efforts will help rebuild it. At the moment, it's under construction, and the Borskir Bridge is perhaps, almost certainly, the most important part of this link. Without the Borskir Bridge, there is no tradeway. Unfortunately, the Borskir Bridge was never destroyed. But I guess you'll see when you get there. Bridges are important things, and they need constant maintenance.
So I have a short list of things that I would like to buy. I will just spit out what I want to buy, and you tell me if I can't get any of it, okay?
Roger that.
So I would like to buy a heavy crossbow, 40
absolutely.
bolts,
Yeah.
a net, 3 spears, 2 bags of ball bearings,
Sure.
a grappling hook,
Of course.
healer's kit,
Yep.
4 potions of greater healing.
Yep, that's fine.
Yep.
Can we use the key to Fowler's store and see if there's any potions left in stock?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna rob her.
She tried to murder us. We're being generous by just taking a couple of potions.
Still trespassing. Silk rope, spyglass,
Yep.
whetstone, and 20 rations.
All good.
Cool. I've never gone outside of the city before, so I'm like loading up.
Good.
And it looks like Sanj will be here this week. He's just going to be a bit late.
Cool. We need not rush then,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you got all that listed out, Sash?
I do,
you
yeah.
copy paste it into Discord or Roll20 maybe?
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, so my other question, Arctic, was so the soldiers will take care of their own rations and stuff, and they're traveling with us to Daggerford.
Yeah.
The ambassador, does he have like any attendants or servants or anything? Does he have his own wagon?
He has his own horse, and that's about it. Yeah, he has his own horse. The military escort that you're providing, and of course the 100 armed guards are deemed sufficient. An escort for him.
All right. So he doesn't have like any assistants or anything with him either. So it's just him.
Just him, actually. Yeah.
All right. That's easy enough. Does DMG have pricing for carriage or wagons? Or that
I'd say
sort
so.
of thing?
It's got
The
carts and
player's
wagons.
handbook has that, doesn't
The
it?
player's handbook.
I don't think the actual prices are in player's handbook.
Yeah,
I
it says
think they're
mounts
in
and
the
vehicles
other.
here.
Yeah, but does it have prices?
Yeah, it does.
I'm pretty sure it was, yeah.
What are you
Yes.
after?
Wagons.
Wagon is a 35 gold for, and it can carry. No, it weighs 400 pounds.
However, someone is selling wagons for 15 gold in Fieldwood.
Are they of sufficient quality?
They are very good quality. Thank you very much. Very good quality. They're of superior quality.
Okay. Well, what do you want to do there, Lucius?
Oh, right. Before we leave, I want to test them potions that I got off Fowler to see if they're poisonous or if they're actual potions.
The ones that you got off of Bandolier?
Yeah.
All legit, yeah.
Okay, so I've got a shit ton of potions right now. We should probably look at divvying some of these up, because I had a couple even before Fowler. So I've got 1 potion of flying, 1 potion of gaseous form, 2 potions of invisibility, 1 potion of sea invisibility. I've got a greater healing potion, but that's mine. And then there's 2 potions of healing.
Maybe give the others the potions of healing, because I'm in the front, so I want to have like a bigger heal. That's why I'm buying the 4 greater healings.
On those greater healing potions, who do you get them from? Which temple do you get them from?
Well, I've had dealings with the Temple of Helm, so maybe
Oh,
them.
God.
Actually,
They will only sell them to you if you already paid for it. You must.
the
how do you-
Seldarine, actually, I was going to
Oh,
say.
they sell them. No worries. Well, they sell them to you on account of the fact that they are trying to reunite the Elven.
Okay. Reconciliation, is it?
Exactly. That's right. They tell you that you are one of them. That we are all the blood of Corellin.
So what you mean to say is they're giving him pity potions.
That's right. That's exactly what I'm saying. It's like that patronizing, condescending, noble savage type thing.
Yeah.
We know that you are a lesser branch, but we want you to think that we think that you are equal.
Great. Affirmative action.
That's it. Affirmative elven action.
Oh, God.
Anyway.
Alright, so
Yeah, there's a draft horse as well for 50 gold pieces if you want to buy that.
Ooh, draft horses. It's 60 gold, your draft horse. There's a bit of a horse shortage at the moment.
oh well, you know who raises horses and breeds horses?
You get it for 40 gold.
Catharus.
You get your horse for 40 gold. The shortage be damned.
I mean, no, because we'll probably pay for this from the group's fund, so I won't rip them off.
Pulling strings for a 20 gold piece saving is, like, you haven't turned to your family for help yet. Now's might not be the best.
Yeah. How about they just give them to us at market price rather than 40 go for 50? I don't want that uncle drunkard coming along like, yeah, you own a tavern.
Alright, you can get the horse at the regular price.
And I want to get myself a riding horse while I get all of them draft horses.
How much is a war horse?
Whoa! 400 gold by PHB?
Are they 400? Are they? Wow.
Yeah,
Oh.
draft horses are 50, riding horses are 75.
I've really got to start scaring horses in combat.
Yeah, I think that's why they cost that much, because they're combat trained, right? So they're not meant to get scared during combat.
Yeah. The DM can't fuck with you.
Shit, hang on. Why would I be buying shit for people with the party funds? We've got gold from last session.
From what?
We all got 2,000 from, not from last session, but from killing the dragon.
Right, okay.
Yeah, I've got quite a bit of funds on me right now. I wouldn't need to dip into any party fund.
Some of us don't have access to that gold, though, or like Adrastia and Ariok don't.
I have 20 gold.
Woohoo!
Exactly. I think it would be worth to dip into the party fund to at least outfit our new companions.
I don't need a horse.
How about, well, if you say so, how about we use the party funds to get 1 or 2 wagons and the horses to pull the wagons? That way, if anyone can't afford their own horse, they can ride on the wagons. And if you want your own horse, you have to buy it.
Okay.
I want to buy a war horse and a donkey and a donkey.
No worries.
And
Can I name the donkey?
Yeah.
I think I know what it's gonna be.
And I want
Harold.
I thought so.
just want camping gear, and I'll take 20 rations and a fishing pole.
Yeah. What sort of rations do you get? Like coconuts or apricots or dwarf toenails?
Beef jerky.
Beautiful.
And
Where's the table that says how much a wagon and stuff can carry?
I don't know.
Okay, because some of the tables say weight, and then the horses say carry capacity. So I think
yes,
it can pull the wagon, right? That's not a problem.
Yeah.
A horse is large, so it gets twice its carrying capacity, I believe.
Yeah.
So twice, they can pull essentially 1,080 pounds.
And wagons and carts don't have in D&D don't have a carrying capacity. They have a volume. They have space.
Right.
Yeah.
You use the horse for the amount of weight, and you use the wagon for the amount of space. It's a strange mathematics, but once you get your head around it, you just go with it.
Yeah, I'm just...
Cart could handle 100 cubic feet of iron.
Yeah, theoretically, right? I mean, that's obviously that's not going to happen because your DM will be like, whatever. But yeah, theoretically, you could pile it, high with gold or some other extremely heavy metal, and just have, 1,000 cubic feet of gold being pulled by these horses, and your axles will never give out but obviously that wouldn't happen.
I mean, in one of these books, it's definitely not the one in PHB, but in one of these books there's a table that has threshold and hit points and cargo and
are you sure that's
shit.
Is that a real book, or is it a...
No, it's in one of the 3 core books. It's in PHB, D&D, or Xanathar's or something.
Like an authorized book, you know what I mean? As opposed to a...
I don't know why he's that.
I'm even more determined to find this table now because I know it exists in one of these books that I'm not crazy.
No worries. Yeah, no, that's fair enough. I haven't looked through them in years, hey.
Because I've gotten pissed off at this a dozen different times. Because especially for the sailing, I'll look and then I'll have a look at the vehicles and stuff, and it's got the list of ships and stuff, and it's like, why the fuck have you got the passenger capacity and the damage threshold and everything in a completely different table?
Yeah.
Why can't it all be in one spot?
Yeah, I guess hopefully they agree with you, and so when they do storm rack or whatever it's called, then it'll be the ship rules will hopefully make sense. No, there'll be a whole. They might revamp the cargo carrying capacity, etc. rules with the release of that pirate book.
Yeah, I don't think I would purchase a mount because I'm pretty sure I don't know how to ride a horse, having spent my whole life in the Underdark.
You're gonna hate traveling, hey? Like you're gonna have constant headaches. You're gonna be blinded all the time.
Can I get Adrastia a visor cap?
Yeah.
Is that something I can get made?
A sun hat.
Yeah.
Yeah, like absolutely. It's not gonna, it's gonna help a little bit, but it's not gonna help. You know what I mean? Like,
I understand that. It's more, to say, here's something that'll help. Sorry.
Here's a good analogy that I just thought of. I've never been to the snow, right, or the real snow, but you know what it must be like to be an Eskimo out on the ice for months at a time, and you've just got this constant freaking glare coming off the snow, coming out of the sky, coming off the snow, just everywhere you look. You've just got this blazing white that would burn your eyes every moment of the day. That's what
snow blindness is a thing.
Question.
Hell yeah.
Can we make him what's called Eskimo goggles, which are just like goggles that have slits in them that cut down on the glare, but they can see?
Yeah, that will. How about? All right, if you use Eskimo goggles, you have disadvantage on your perception check, but it gets rid of the sunlight. You'd also have disadvantage on your attack rolls, though, anyway, because of because it's going to interfere with your vision.
Yeah, it wouldn't change anything then.
Not really, but you could do it though, and it would get rid of the headaches, and it would be, there would be circumstances where it's useful, but at the same time there'd be circumstances where it's not. See, the problem isn't so. Well, it has got a lot to do with vision. That is part of the problem. It's also magic, right? Like, and they've stated in the rules that, Jeremy Crawford said, like, it's more than just they don't like the light. They are creatures of darkness. They've been cursed to live underneath the ground. They don't just not like the sun. They hate it, It's like Smeagol. They're almost allergic to sunlight. So that's... Yeah, there you go.
There was a feat in 3.5 where it was called Sunlight Adaptation, and it was a Drow specific feat.
Yeah.
Or not Drow specific, but like Underdark specific feat.
Yeah.
That would negate the effects of sunlight or part of the sunlight sensitivity.
Yeah.
Would it be possible to perhaps not make it a feat, but make it some sort of thing that Adrastia could work towards? Like, if she spends enough time above ground, it could take months, it could take years, I don't know, but is that something that will eventually happen?
Yes,
I would have a different suggestion there, because there is already precedent in 5th edition for there to be an item that removes that particular thing. I'd probably say once Adrastia has been with the party for a set period of time, me and Sanj can probably look towards trying to create a similar item.
Yeah, that might be a better idea. So the two things that I'd offer is the one that you came up with, which is that there is an item out there that exists, so you could make it. The value, I think, would be about 8,000 gold pieces to buy. And the second alternative is make a feat, but it's not good enough to be a feat, so it would have to be part of a feat. So you could make a feat that is child of the sunlight or child of the light or something, and you tolerate sunlight now, and maybe you get, like, I don't know, +1 to your healing light spells or some shit, maybe you get the light cantrip as a free cantrip, something like that. Yeah, that might work.
I like the idea of Lucius, like, experimenting to find some sort of cure or equipment.
Yeah. Casting unknown spells on her eyes. Good idea.
No. I meant like making a magic item, not taking his eyes out and modify. Actually, Sanj is a transmuter, so he might consider.
Cyber eyes,
Oh.
cyber eyes.
There is a thing called Ezrat's eye, right? And it functions as an eye if you put it in an eye socket.
Oh, no,
So
that's
you could just
a
gouge
magic
out her
item.
eyes.
Yeah, that's a magic item in 5e.
Yeah. You could gouge out her eyes and just put 2 of those in.
I think I might change my mind later. I'm not sure just how bad it will be, but I'm
I think you
fine
just
with
have to
having
be-
the.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm fine with having the handicap during the day, like because it's made up for by me being better at night. So I
Yeah.
don't mind
Yeah, look,
the handicap.
I've played this kind of character with sunlight sensitivity in a campaign that was above ground before, and there are times where you'll be a bit weak, but then it's like when something happens at nighttime, like if our party gets ambushed while we're resting or something, you're going to be miles ahead of what everyone else can do, because I mean we prepare specifically going into Undermountain. An example here is like I cast dark vision every time we're going in. I'm not even going to have dark vision prepared when we're above ground doing this kind of stuff. If we get ambushed at night, I'm not going to be able to see shit. So the difference there is like I might be able to do more stuff during the day, you'll be able to do more stuff at night. And it's not just that you'll be useless during the day though. I mean, if you're smart about it, like if you stick to under tree cover or anywhere there's any kind of darkness, you can kind of work around it. It's something to consider.
Yeah, what I imagine would happen during the day is because she probably doesn't know how to ride a horse, being as she hasn't really needed a mount, being in the Underdark. She'd probably ride in a wagon and like have this. She'll probably have a big cloak and pull the hood down low over her eyes, like, as much as
Have to
possible.
buy the horse and what?
Was that about a horse?
I did find the table, it just doesn't have wagons and stuff, it's just ships.
That's a shame.
And that's the table from DMG. So I don't know why they've got 2 totally different tables, because the one in PHP is like bare bones, and then the DMG table has all of that stuff.
Probably because they don't want the players thinking about that sort of stuff.
Probably more to do with page count. Player's Handbook's a very big book, and the DMG is not.
If I can't ride in a wagon, I'd probably just walk alongside the convoy. Like I doubt we're going at a gallop. I've got proficiency in athletics, so
Right.
I think
You
I
can
can
ride in a
avoid being
wagon.
exhausted.
That's not a problem.
Alright.
That's what I'll probably do then.
Cool.
So I'll take it. How many horses need to pull a wagon?
It depends on the strength. You know, like the wagon weighs X and the horse pulls Y, and so you take X from Y, and that's how much left you can put in the wagon. Does that make sense?
Oh,
It's actually
okay.
quite a lot. It's actually quite a lot that a draft horse can take. It's not more.
Yeah.
than
I'm just looking at the
2,000.
carry capacity stuff. So okay, it makes sense why they.
Now you understand how the math works. Yeah.
Yeah, because okay, so they've got like a wagon has a weight.
Think of it as horsepower.
Well, a wagon has a weight of 400 pounds. A draft horse has a carry capacity of 540. So I'm guessing that means that if we have one horse, it can only carry 140 pounds. So 2 horses.
That's right. Can it only? Are you sure it can only take 540? That sounds pretty weak.
The carry
No.
capacity
No.
listed in PHB is
Okay.
540.
So you have to think about it this way. Carrying capacity means what is on the horse. Okay, what you are physically putting on the horse.
Yeah,
Then there is push, drag, and lift.
exactly.
And you can push, drag, and lift up to 30 times your strength, or in this case, twice your carrying capacity. And then for a large creature, it's twice again.
Yeah.
So it's like 2,200 that they can drag.
Yeah. Does that make sense? Again, you've got to think D&D math. So
dragging.
the horse can drag like 500. We'll use round numbers. The horse can lift 500, but because it's large, double that, and because we're dragging, not carrying, double it again. So it becomes 2,000. So the horse can drag 2,000. take away the wagon from that, which is like 400. You've got 1,600 pounds left, or a little bit more. Yeah.
Yep.
That sounds a bit.
That's how it works.
Oh.
I can point you to the specific
is dragging
rules if you want.
is dragging 30 times? I thought it. No, I mean I thought dragging was 30 and carrying was 50.
It is. That's what we just said.
And it's dragging the wagon. It's not carrying the wagon.
Yeah, which only adds up to 1,080, not 2,000.
No.
500 times 20.
Yeah, but a horse has a strength score of 18. 18 times by 30 is 540, and then doubled for large means 1,080.
I don't know the maths. I can't argue it.
I was just doubling based on the carrying capacity. I didn't know its strength.
No, the carry capacity in PHB is its literal carry capacity.
They've already mapped it out, have they? Yeah, that would make sense.
Okay, I see. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
yes,
cool.
Then
So it's so yeah.
1,080, yeah.
That's good. It means that you understand the maths. So the fact that you could like see that we were doing it wrong means that you understand how it's done. It's good.
I was just thinking, hang on, dragging. That's a fucking strong horse.
Does sound pretty strong. Like dragging 1,000 kilograms. Yeah, that's a fucking car. A horse pulling a car that has its brake on.
Yeah, don't forget to bring provisions for the horse as well.
Hey.
Hello?
Hey, we're just working out logistics
Yeah, sweet.
before we get to the fun part.
Yeah, so Sanj, while we're on this, are you going to buy yourself a horse or are you going to ride in the wagon?
Wagon sounds good.
Yep. And now, are we getting here a wagon or a carriage?
Sounds like we're going to want to get a carriage, but like this sounds to me. I mean, like the wagon was when we were taking stuff. You're now half the party's now traveling in the wagon.
Oh,
Yeah.
if it's more effective to grab a horse, I'll do it.
Well, you're not the only one. I'm thinking maybe we grab a carriage for people to ride in, and then a second wagon to bring the Dragon Corpse back on.
Yep. One
You
wagon,
can buy
one carriage.
both. You're traveling a long way. Hey, it's going to be.
Yeah, that's what I
It's
mean.
almost 1,000 miles around.
One of
That
each.
is-
I'm thinking is a wagon and a carriage, and then 2 draft horses to pull each.
Oh man, how many days are we expected to be on the road? If it's 1,000 miles, that's a long time.
At least a 10-day, if not more.
Yeah, okay.
It's not 1,000 miles. The round trip is
Right,
like
I see.
800.
Yeah. Round trip's
It's-
about 800 miles. Yeah, which is.
Right.
Oh no, it's 800 miles just getting there. Oh, no,
Right.
500. Yeah, 500. Yeah, so it's 1,000 miles or more round trip. Yeah, it's pretty far.
Wait, it is?
Yeah, I just measured it out. Like, go water deep down to Boreskir Bridge, and that's more than 500 miles. And that's assuming you go in a straight line.
Yeah. No.
And you don't go in a straight line.
I fucked up my math there because I was thinking from Daggerford to Dragonspear Castle. I forgot about the bit to Borskir.
Yeah, good call.
So yeah, it is. It's like a 1,200 mile round trip.
Pretty big. Yeah.
All right. Is it possible to do like a little shopping list similar to
Oh yeah,
Dev in the disc? I might just do something like that then, just for the sake of brevity.
absolutely, man. Yeah, and being water deep, most everything should be available.
Yeah, if anything isn't, just like obviously, yeah, let me know. That's cool.
Yeah.
It's a bit trivial, but how much would a sturdy travel cloak cost and weigh?
If it's not in there, then you can pay what you want. 5 silver would be the cheapest, but you'd want to spend a couple of gold. You said sturdy, so say 2 gold. You want stylish, maybe 10 gold.
Yeah, I'd say she'd go for a stylish one.
Beautiful. It's nice. Like maybe it's a doe hide, or maybe it's been dyed a deep shade of blue or something. Quite nice. Nice cloak. Whatever variety you'd like.
Yeah, I'm thinking that during the height of the day when the sun is at its brightest, that's when she'll be in the wagon with the hood pulled down over her eyes, meditating. Like, because elves, they meditate 4 hours a day instead of sleeping 8 hours a day. So if she meditates during midday while we're traveling, she'll be awake all night, and she could be the lookout for the party.
Yeah, it's mercifully cool this time of year. It's not yet cold, but it's certainly not hot anymore. So you in particular will find that good. Being it would be awful to be an Underdark creature trapped in the stifling humidity of a caravan when you've never known humidity in your life.
Yeah, I'd say that this is both an exciting experience and also probably incredibly miserable at the same time.
Mm.
It's fun to get to explore the surface world without having any nefarious aims for once, but at the same time, that constant glare and pain in the eyes whenever I look around.
Everything that you're after, there's there, Aldrich.
Would all that be like 1,000 gold?
You have to look up the prices for everything.
Okay, because yeah, I know 2 war horses is 400, and the rest of the stuff is...
Yeah.
The rest of the stuff you have there is pretty inconsequential. It probably amounts to a few gold, like 10 gold. Something.
Oh, Adventurous Pack's more than that, but it'd certainly be less than 1,000 all up.
I'll just pay 1,000 just to make it even.
Excellent, no worries. And
Don't waste money you don't need to.
I'm rich. It's just pennies to me. I can do whatever I want.
your philanthropy is noticed, and by having this much money and not having to shop, you just give it to your servants to go and do, and they do it, and they distribute the money, and it spreads the love. If people think you're a sucker, that's definitely true, and people are using you. That's also true, but that doesn't mean that they don't love you.
As long as they love him.
So there's an important question here, Aldrich. Are you going to ride the war horses, or are you going to purchase a chariot to go behind one of them?
I'm riding one war horse, and then the other one's carrying my stuff, and also just there just in case the other one dies, so then I have an extra one.
The pocket horse, that's a good one.
Here I was hoping he was going to Van Damme all the way down to Daggerford.
I do like chariots.
I would very much like to see you in one day, Aldrich.
Yeah,
but just a terrifying image.
Should we buy an elephant just to make Arctic happy?
Well, I mean, we could carry an obscene amount of stuff on an elephant.
Yeah, we can get the elephant to pull
Or
the
get
wagon.
a really big cart.
I'm going to make a centaur that pulls a chariot, and we are going to be the most mobile hidden squad party ever. I'm going to get 2 archers, my party members. With the mage flying. And someone riding me? Like, the whole party will be moving at like speed of 50 or 60.
Oh my! I'm just picturing now the centaur, a centaur war cleric, pulling a chariot with the ranger in the chariot and the wizard mounted on top of the centaur.
Wow, that would be horrifying. Holy shit.
I linked an image a couple of weeks ago where it was centaurs riding centaurs.
Yeah, because they're medium creatures, right? Or whatever it was. Yeah.
They're considered medium for the sake of game mechanics, and on them, on their stat sheet or whatever, it says that a medium creature can ride them. So, according to Jeremy Crawford's ruling, a centaur can ride a centaur. So,
yeah, it's pretty unfortunate.
You get a centaur.
I mean, no, that's how you get more centaurs.
You get what?
Or is it
when the daddy centaur rides the mummy centaur, that's when you end up with the baby centaur.
I think it's a centaur center.
Centaur center. This is good fun. Finding abominations in D&D.
Yeah, the only reason why I don't think I would get a chariot is because the 100-year-old road or whatever might not be too good for the wagons and such.
And if you had a chariot, you'd have to stand all the time.
Well, you can make one like in Vikings for what's his name?
Put a lazy boy chair in it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Can we turn a Tensor's floating disc into a chariot?
Oh my god, we can.
So put a wizard on a horse or on
Oh,
a centaur, and then have the disc behind the wizard.
So cool.
That'd be mint.
It reminds me of those mages or whatever from Chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The discs of Zinch, I think they're called. Yeah.
Yeah, wow, that's what a throwback! Holy shit!
Because I don't think there's not a speed on Tensor's floating disc.
It just stays behind the
Whoa.
caster at, like, is it 20 feet?
So you make
Some value.
the centaur the caster.
Or you put the caster on the centaur.
Or you put the caster on the centaur.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, that'd be mint.
My goodness, we've got a real train going on here.
And because it's floating, there'd be no like vibrations and rough terrain or anything to disrupt the ranger who's firing arrows from the disc. It'd just be a smooth ride.
You put another caster on that disc and have that caster cast floating disc. And you just got literally a train of discs behind
But
the
it's not-
centaur.
But it's not just a horizontal train, it's a vertical train because you've got centaurs on top of centaurs with mages on top.
Oh.
It's like a siege tower of
Holy
centaurs.
shit.
It's hilarious.
Alright. So let's buy our stuff and we will get on.
Yep, I've bought all my stuff. Just to confirm, the greater healing potions were 250 gold? Because I'm not sure what the increments were again. It was like 50 gold.
Yeah, I was just about to ask.
50.
Oh, right. Is there not a price list for them somewhere?
There is a price list inside Waterdeep Dragon Heist.
Yeah, there is. Maybe we can Google it. Because I won't be able to find it very easily. Potions, Dragon Heist.
Potion of Animal Friendship, 125 gold. Potion of Climbing, 50 gold. Potion of Greater Healing, 250.
There we go.
Yeah, thought so. Okay. So yeah,
Cool.
I spent 1,000 gold buying 4 of those.
Beautiful. Helm protects you. You have to prove you're a patriot. How do you do that?
Oh, no, I bought them from Seldarin.
That's
Yeah,
right.
that is-
That's right. You're an elf.
potions.
Of course, we've already been through. Alright, so, anything else?
I'm just going to purchase myself a riding horse and a saddle.
Beautiful.
This is also
Saddle is-
pretty true.
Smells magnificent. Fresh leather. Yes. Sorry.
This is also pretty trivial, but she used to drink spider blood, but obviously doesn't really have a taste for it anymore after deciding that she wants to be better. So she needs a new drink of choice. And I thought that drink of choice should be Azure wine. I was wondering if I'd be able to find it in Waterdeep.
What
It's
sort
like
of wine?
It's let's have a look. I'm not sure if it's official, like whether it actually exists or not, but it's a list of alcohol. I mean, it says that Drow Azure wine is
Yeah, there is.
it's a glowing blue drink. It's said to be quite addictive and cause hallucinations.
Sounds legal.
Yeah, and it's brewed by the Drow and exported from their lands. So
I don't know if we want to support Drow economy, but I know a guy who knows a guy who can get it.
Yeah, I have criminal contacts since I have a criminal background. Yeah.
You got no problems then. You got no problems. A guy who used to be with the Xanathars Guild, but managed to get out before the shithole hit the fan. He's willing to sell it to you.
Nice. Would I have to pay a premium because it's a black market item?
Sure, well, 40 gold a bottle.
Damn.
It's the real stuff, though. It's
Why did you say anything?
Because I want to, make it as authentic as possible.
Oh, don't worry. There was a premium. Don't worry. It's Arctic.
Maybe that's where Dernan gets his supply from. He chucks a bucket down the hole and says, "Send some alcohol up."
That's a blind eye.
We also need to remember we've got that big stash of alcohol down in Undermountain as well. Remember that big bunch of dwarf beer that we found?
Yeah, but that's not gone anywhere.
We don't think.
I could hit Groin up and let him know it's down there, but I mean, I also don't mind getting back there once we get back.
Well,
I feel like we should wait because we don't want to get half the goblin market murdered by that.
You're right. They probably would end up killing themselves, wouldn't they? Or getting themselves killed, yeah.
This is what happens when the parents leave out of town and the goblins
Exactly.
throw a party,
100%.
Well, has everyone done their purchasing?
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything else I need.
Cool.
I don't think I need a bedroll or a tent because I'll be meditating in the cart. That's my sleeping accounted for.
Yeah, I think that sounds pretty accurate. And not just a car, but a carriage. So, the sort of thing that they cross the prairies of America in.
Yeah. I mean, like, Zevram and the others should probably get tents because Lucius and Sanj have got dibs on the carriage.
Fine, I'll get a tent.
Oh, I've purchased a tent you can use.
Okay, I mean, Lucius will keep dibs on the carriage then.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay in the carriage, but I bought the tent for, general use.
So you can have a tent that smells like sand.
He hasn't used it yet. Jeez.
Oh,
Spray
here's
some-
one more thing, actually.
Yeah.
Would I have any idea about trolls in the Underdark? Are they a thing in the Underdark?
If you don't, someone tells you. Like if you don't know about trolls, let me tell you about trolls. My grandpa, he killed trolls. Fire and acid. Like not everyone knows about the acid, but everyone knows about the fire.
Yeah. Waterdeep had a
Alright.
big war with them, so everyone knows.
Are they vulnerable to silvered weapons? Or?
Oh, they're vulnerable to fire. You want to give them the fire? When they go down, you're gonna burn their body. Silver, you don't know. That said, there are lycanthropes all over the world. So if you found a pack of werewolves in the Misty Forest, you wouldn't be that surprised.
I guess I'll pack a ball case full of silvered bolts then, if they're available. There's.
Absolutely. There's no price for them, is there?
Yeah.
Is there? Okay, cool. Then
I can't quite remember. I have to look at.
no worries. There is a price.
Sanj, do you carry any alchemist fire on you or just acid?
No, it's just the acid. I was contemplating purchasing some, as obviously, if it's a black dragon, these will do nothing. So I mean, I'm happy to pick some up before we leave.
I was just asking. I'm not going to press you into it because it's not cheap. I think it's $50 a vial.
It's quite pricey.
So anyway, yeah, the final thing before we leave Arctic would be looking up information about black dragons in the library.
Yeah, you have advantage on your history check.
Yeah, I'm there with him for sure. Just
Yeah.
Sure is.
I will use inspiration on that.
There are no black dragons on the Sword Coast.
There we go.
That's pretty good. Alright, well, that gives you all sorts of information that it simply isn't relevant. It gives you so much info. And I might give you bits and pieces more and more as we go along. But let's see. This might be something that's a little bit helpful.
Well, if it helps, the main things like
Yeah.
I'll be taking note of all the other information, but the stuff
Sure.
that's not relevant doesn't really need to be told to us. But the main things I want to know is, do they have any kind of weaknesses? What are their strengths? And what are their kind of personalities? Like, is this something that'll only ambush when it's confident of victory, or is it something that's like, how intelligent are they, for example?
Yeah. All right. Well, that's the, as you say, the information you're looking for. You do get more than that, but we'll begin with that. General information about the European black dragon as opposed to the Mediterranean black dragon. Anyway, black dragons are very cowardly. They are widely regarded as one of the weakest of the true dragons, along with the whites. they're very manipulative, very destructive, very cowardly, kind of bestial, but they also have a tendency to amass tribal worship. They act as gods for lesser beings like goblins, kobolds. For tactics, their cowardly nature means that they engage in hit-and-run strikes and only really take on creatures that they're absolutely sure that they can win. They can breathe acid, but that they tend not to because that's gonna. They hunt small creatures, and if you use acid on a small creature, there's nothing left to eat. So they're more likely to use their acid as a last resort defense mechanism when they're under attack from the very few predators that they actually face, namely other black dragons, because they fight like monsters. The only time that they don't fight incessantly among themselves because they hate each other is when they're very young, and when they're very young, they're incredibly cooperative. Hatchlings, little bands of black dragons. They almost form little war bands, like adventuring parties, and a group of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, half a dozen black dragon wormlings getting around can cause so much mischief as to destroy entire thorps and villages through their insidious hunting and destructive tendencies. There is one dragon worth noting. Simply because they've had such a big influence on this region. Their name is Malestor Rex. It's a name given to them by people rather than it's not thought to be its own name. Malestor Rex. And Malestor Rex is by varying accounts either male or female. No one really knows for sure. But the history of Malestor Rex is tied into the history of Dragonspear Castle. Malestor Rex is known to have inhabited the Sword Coast for centuries. We'll say 1,000 years, but we're just using a round number. And particularly over the past, say, 200 years, it's been not just associated with the Sword Coast, but particularly with Dragonspear. There's not much more to be said about that, other than that Malestor Rex was there during the 2 battles when Waterdeep and Baldur's Gate together smashed Dragonspear Castle and didn't destroy it, but defeated it, and they did it again. And in both instances, Malestor Rex was part of the environment, not necessarily part of the army that was, the army of evil, in inverted commas, wasn't necessarily part of that army, but they were there both times, almost like a third party. The final thing to know about Malestor Rex is that they have been a prolific breeder on account of being so successful. They've had plenty of mates, whether they are the female or male, we don't really know, but Malestor Rex has a string of children that have inhabited the High Moor, the Serpent Hills, Star Mounts, anywhere. They're the children of Malestor Rex have, in a way, prevented other dragon species from encroaching upon this part of the world. You'll still find green dragons in the forest and blue dragons in the mountains, but it's very rare to have, say, a red dragon scourge come through, or a colony of silvers make themselves known, and that's largely because the black dragons have been pretty successful in taking the territory up here along the Shining Vale.
Alright, I've just mainly taken notes of what you said, because this sounds like it's going to be something for us to hunt later on.
It's a big dragon, hey, it's an ancient worm. It's an old and very large dragon.
The rumors that, I guess the information that Gelesta gave us, though, is that this is not some giant dragon, right?
That's right, and it's nowhere near Dragonspear Castle, it's hundreds of miles away. There is one final point I forgot to make, I said it was the final. Balestor Rex only has one horn. Pretty curious. Enough
Only
of that.
one horn.
Only one horn. That's it. It's a one-horn dragon.
Oh, one horn. I thought you said one whore.
One horn. God,
I was
Zach.
like, damn, she must be tired from, being pregnant all those years. Over and over.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Didn't you say they had no shortage of mates? Anyway, it doesn't. So yeah, only one horn. Yeah,
I thought you said
dragon
it was a prolific breeder, not shortage of mates.
Exactly.
Anyway.
That doesn't make sense. So the worm that's hassling us comes from the forest of worms near the Borskia Bridge, which is hundreds of miles away from dragons.
But it's suspected to be one of the runts of this molestor.
Like that's pure speculation, hey. But yeah, why not, right? You know. Yeah.
All right.
Well, is the Duke ready to depart? Does he have his kitchen sink with him?
We're not pillaging Fala's house?
Wow.
No, I don't think that's a good idea.
I think it might be wise just to,
Set it on
Bounce for now.
fire, you know.
Ash will be pillaging it while you're gone. You're pretty confident.
Yeah, I mean, I'll leave the key in Ash's hands and then pretend like I don't know what's about to happen.
Alright.
It's like giving a gun to a kid or something.
Ash just takes it over. She doesn't even like steal the stuff. She just moves in. So. All right, done. That's that. All right. So the ambassador. It's time to meet him. The circumstances of meeting him, I suppose, he's not going to come to you. You'd have to come to him. I guess it means meeting him. Maybe he's in a hotel in the Seaboard. They put him up at the Lord's Alliance expenses. The equivalent of the 6-star Hilton, in Waterdeep. The Grand Maiden. Anyway, and so you meet him. Yep.
So, everyone, before we go in here, maybe you should do most of the talking here. If this guy's afraid of magic, it's probably best for me and Sanj not to take the lead on this.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. But what about my outward appearance? Are you sure he'd trust me?
We don't need him to trust us.
Right. Fair enough.
We just need to get in there safely, and honestly, this is something I don't want to bother with. I mean, you're better at speaking with people than
All right, then. I straighten my clothes and make sure I look presentable, and I stride up to wherever it is we're going to meet him.
Yeah. So it's you meet him perhaps in the lobby of this beautiful hotel. There's crystal chandeliers and marble floors, and the dignitaries that are around you include, foreign priests and lesser counts and other people that are worthy of the 100 gold piece a night suites that this place offers. So you meet the. He's quite short, at about 5'4", and relatively thin, and you can tell that the instant he lays eyes on you, he regards you in tremendous distaste. Indeed, he seems to dread the thought that as you take your steps, you might be coming over to speak to him.
I put my arms behind my back, sort of, as you do, like a butler would go up to someone, hands behind the back, and I lift my chin and cast my eyes down at him as I approach him and say, "Ambassador?"
Looks at you through the corner of his eyes. Who are you?
I am Severin Melentia. I am here to escort you to Daggerford and beyond.
1. You will not refer to me as Ambassador. I am Your Excellency.
I sort of take a moment to half roll my eyes, but very well, Your Excellency. If you would please follow me, our carriages and wagons are waiting outside.
2. You shall not use any magic while you are within my presence and under my command.
Very well. I will not use any magic, or none of us will use any magic while we are within your presence.
3.
Is there anything yet?
You must recognize that I am an important member of the Lord's Alliance, and if anything should happen to me, then it will be on your head.
I assure you, we are the best that Lady Silverhand has to offer.
Well, let us go then, and inspect the troops. I have a few tricks up my sleeve, which will ensure that we have the edge in any upcoming conflict. You know about the trolls, don't you?
I am aware that there will be trolls along the way, yes.
Yes, well, I have an ingenious trick that will ensure that the trolls will pose no threat against our army.
Your Excellency, I am most pleased to hear that we will be benefiting from your most astounding intellect. What is this edge you speak of?
I intend to equip every man with 3 torches and a flask of lamp oil to protect against the troll.
That is very prudent.
Yes. Brilliant. Brilliant.
Brilliant.
You see,
Now,
I come from a long line of military leaders. I have strategic mind and tactics within my blood.
it is good to hear that we can depend on Your Excellency's martial prowess should we come across any bandits and or dragons.
Make an insight check.
Okay.
He likes.
I do not like him back.
Come, let us go and inspect the troops.
Yes, I will defer to your judgment, and let us hope they are up to scratch.
Where are the rest of the warriors that will be accompanying?
They are waiting outside in their carriage.
Wonderful. It is good to have strong men with big swords and shields to protect the Lord of the Sword Coast.
Yes. Yes, it is. I sort of think about my party's composition, and I'm like, I don't think any of them fit that description.
Alright, so the party is probably, are you, we're all ready to go, right? You're waiting on this guy, right?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
I think so. Yep.
So you guys are all assembled outside this, or at the southern gate, right? The southern gate is the south part of Waterdeep. It's a sort of a trades ward, but a merchant ward, not to confuse you with the trades. Anyway, so he's got the third company's there, 100 men decked out in their halberds and their chain and their tabards, and Ryan Estrado is being escorted by our illustrious half-drow, and you're ready to meet with, or he's ready to meet with you and meet with the leaders of the military. You can tell that he doesn't like what he sees when he looks at your party.
I don't blame him.
We don't like what we see.
What is this? He asked Zevram.
These are the warriors of great repute that you have hired, Your Excellency. They may not look like much, I'll give you that, but their tactical wit far outshines their brawn.
Which isn't saying much.
What are you? He says to the tabaxi.
I'm sleeping on top of the carriage, so...
Is that somebody's pet?
It is a new addition to our party. It is, it is a strange creature from far away, but I assure you it is quite adept at using its claws.
Goes up to Sanj. What manner of sea elf are you?
I am Vidalcan, and we hail from far away. I'm not native
From
to
the
these
inner
lands.
sea. Welcome to the Sword Coast. You will find that your lands are positively provincial and barbaric compared to the civilized world of ours.
Of course.
You will address our guest as His Excellency.
Of course, Your Excellency. And I'm like, as I shoot a glance over at Zevram as I finish saying that.
Give him a wink as I move on to the next person.
And so it's he goes up and starts talking to the leader of the third company, named the Civilar. Think of a Civilar as a lieutenant, perhaps, captain, maybe. And
Sheriff?
No, more like a commander of
Right.
military force, yeah, than a police chief, yeah. And he seems quite polite. He's standing straight backed at attention, and the ambassador asks him a few questions, and he answers politely. Is there anything anyone wants to know?
I think we all know enough.
Yeah, not really, I think. I mean, the soldiers are not a massive part of our plan since they're stopping at Daggerfoot. That's probably the safest leg of the journey anyway.
Yeah, no worries. And so the Civilar and the ambassador sort of become, I guess, friends, I suppose, as he sees in him the kind of man that he was hoping that you all were. I don't like him, says the Armor. The Armor is like the sergeant. He will take over if the Civilar were to fall in battle, but more accurately, whereas the Civilars tend to be, commissioned officers. Armors are hardened men who never retired from the military. I don't like him, the Armor says. I don't see why we should weaken Waterdeep by sending all these soldiers off through the country. What if there was some sort of Zentarum invasion or more trolls or something? 100 soldiers. I don't like this. I think that Waterdeep should look after its own. The Lord's Alliance has too much power, in my opinion.
I would say the wall should hold long enough for 100 soldiers to return should anything happen.
It might not be as big as you think.
I won't pretend to know have a military mind or anything like that, but I think Laeral is doing this for the betterment of all the cities of the north.
Who cares about the other cities? Waterdeep should look after itself.
But Waterdeep relies on trade, on travelers and commerce. If you were to cut off and alienate the other cities, wouldn't the economy of Waterdeep starve? And then what would your life be like? You'd be living in squalor.
Yeah, I guess you're right. We do need trade. Gotta make the rich richer.
I'll offer
Let's
the.
just say...
Go ahead.
Oh no, you go ahead.
Oh, I'll offer the Civilar and the Armar a rolled cigar and be like, would you like one for the travels?
The Civilar takes one politely, but notably doesn't smoke it. But the Armar takes one, is told that he can't smoke it, and then later on during the journey. So we set off. We're preparing to set off, and he's about to light up his cigar alongside you when you notice that people are coming through the southern gate at a much faster speed than you'd expected. Like usually as many people go in as come out, pretty standard, but there's a lot of people that are coming in. A lot of people coming in. And the word starts to spread really quickly, particularly among the guards, and Third Company are part of the Waterdeep's defense. So word's coming in that there's that these people are refugees. They've heard of a great disturbance within the Misty Forest. They've heard that war bands of goblins are attacking the settlements along the edge of the Misty Forest, right? Little hamlets and little thorps and little individual homesteads. And so while none of these people who are streaming in have any can confirm that any of this has happened, none of them have seen any action. They're just sort of, old women with children, cowardly men who are getting off the land before shit goes down. They've heard that there's some problems in the wind, and so they just pack up and leave. And so there's all these women starting to come in through the southern gate just as you're getting ready to leave.
This does not bode well.
Why are they coming all the way to Waterdeep? Is Daggerfoot not safe?
I guess we'll find out.
Some people may be more cautious than others. It also makes sense, considering that the Lord's Alliance feels the need to send 100 soldiers down to Daggerford.
Well, what if 100 soldiers isn't enough for whatever's
That's what
causing
we're
this
for.
distress?
I think you're underestimating the city guard by a bit there, Zevram. They're not like some of these lazy and overweight bludgers that they allow into the watch. The guard can handle themselves. 100 soldiers should be more than enough to deal with bands of goblins and the sort.
Right. I hope so. We'll be passing by the Misty Forest, though. We might expect, an ambush.
Yes, well, it would be wishing to hope that we get an uneventful trip, considering we're being paid rather well for this job.
But if you expect it, it's not an ambush.
Well, I can expect an ambush and still be caught unawares. Just depends on how well they set up an ambush. Scouting will have to be a priority once we pass Daggerford.
We'll remain vigilant, and I think we'll be fine. Nothing we can't handle. Besides, we have a small company of troops here, I think we should be okay, right?
Yeah, should be. Does the company of soldiers have any majors with them, or is it just foot soldiers?
They don't even have any missile weapons with them. They're just halberds.
See, Lady Silverhand can't be expecting too big a problem. There's no spellcasters, no range units.
It's interesting that they didn't bring any missiles with them, actually. I find that curious.
They were probably expecting trolls or something.
Halberdiers should be fine for trolls and goblins. Look, I mean, we should be on alert. Sure, because we've got a job to do, but...
Well, once we stop at Daggerford, I'm sure we can get a clearer idea. Surely they will have sent out scouts.
Yeah.
Oh.
I suppose you're right.
I have an
It would
idea.
certainly be foolish not to send out scouts with a force like this.
I know someone in Daggerford that I can contact, and I can see if they've had anything happen to them there.
Contact how?
Well, I have a spell, and my parents they live in Daggerford.
Oh, didn't know you had parents.
Just chuckle, yeah.
Damn.
Nose breathingly funny kind of thing. Yeah, no, I can. If we want to, I can do that now.
Sure.
I'm not going to stop you.
All right. Yeah, I think I'm gonna send. I'm gonna cast sending. I'm gonna hit up the old man.
Yeah.
I'll be like, yeah, hello, father. It's your son. Just getting in touch with regards to Daggerford right now. Lots of immigrants in Waterdeep. Yeah, and I'll just send that to him.
How much can you send back?
25 words, so Sounds almost ran out of time himself.
Okay, cool. I'll count them down. Refugees coming in. Men assembling. Goblins, kobolds. Both question mark. Duchess has everything under control. Daggerford will be fine. Goblins can't threaten us. There 5 more left?
I
Love
think
you,
so.
son.
Mother is well. Come home.
Oh. Cool. Yeah, turn to the party and say, yeah, I think Daggerford is secure. By the sounds of things, goblins and kobolds, and something. Then the Duchess has got it all under wraps, so I think they're fine there.
That's a relief. Well, no use holding up all these men, right? Onwards.
No, I'm ready. Yes.
The trumpets. Did you know that you were going to have trumpets? There you got trumpets, guys. There's trumpets. Well, they've come out for the third company, but and they've come out for Ran Estrado, but like you can bathe in the accolades. There's the garlands are thrown, and the confetti, and it's quite a spectacle down there at the southern gate as you're departing the city.
I queen wave atop my horse as we go through the gates.
You see some people run out like little children wearing silver cloaks, and they're cheering. They're cheering, silver cloaks, silver cloaks,
and give them
so
the finger crossbows. Hey.
They give you the finger crossbows back, and several of them are wearing blackface.
Well, that's some cultural appropriation if I've ever seen it. But
Very
alright.
on the nose, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm a little weirded out, but happy at the same time.
I'm just grinding my teeth.
Keep it up, kids.
They wave their toy swords and crossbows at.
I didn't realize the lot of you were so famous.
Oh yes, we found a lot of money for the city, so they're somewhat thankful that they have a bit of an extra tax return this year. Not that we do tax returns here. It's rather, quite oppressive. But anyway.
Right. The first leg of the journey, where we'll be dropping off our military off 130, 140, 150 miles away, depending on which cartographer you trust. You're traveling through the beautiful countryside around Waterdeep. There's mostly farms. A city this side requires a tremendous amount of agriculture to stay fed. There's a little bit of fishing and a little bit of hunting. But the further and further you get on, 10, 20, 40, 50 miles down the road, the more and more frequent, or the less frequently you see houses that are populated, the more frequently you see abandoned houses. By the time you're past the Ardeep Forest, by the time you've travelled about 80 or 90 miles, and you're entering up into the open country again, the rolling plains and hills, only of every 10 houses you're coming across, it looks like 7 of them are abandoned. Only two of them out of 10 have no women, just men. And every 10th house or so has a full family, stubborn, holding on, got their crossbows, got their dogs barking, pulled in their livestock. They might wave at you as you pass, they might not. But you guys are on horses. You're able to, you're free agents. The poor ambassador, His Excellency, is really struggling with this journey. It's a bit too much for him. He's had to climb in the back of the wagon, and he's calling for more wine quite frequently, and he needs feet massage pretty often. It's really taking its toll. You guys are traveling through this country, which looks like people are abandoning at a relatively rapid rate. You spot a lot of refugees coming towards you, and more than half the houses have been completely abandoned. Does that, do you want to do anything about that, or are you happy to stay on focus?
One of the farmhouses that seems to only have men.
Yeah.
There, so it looks like they've sent their women and children away already. Not going out of the way, but if there's any of them like outdoors close to the road, I will approach them to ask.
What are you doing? You're wasting our time, says the ambassador. You're meant to stay here and look after us.
I'm just gonna intercept between Lucius and him. Just it's nothing to worry about, Your Excellency. Our resident noble here, Lucius, is quite the scout. He's just reconnoitering at the moment.
While
you mulattoes are too kind.
While Zevram and the ambassador are talking, I'm just going to wait for the wagon to keep moving, because I'm on my own horse. I can catch up if I need to.
Exactly. You're not going to slow them down in one iota.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, so you're a lone traveller. The dogs are barking, and they're at the fence. But the son comes out to meet you. His brother's got a crossbow, and he's got an axe. And they come down to basically talk to you.
Greetings, friends.
What can I do for you?
We're heading south to Daggerford on a job, and we've noticed a lot of these farmhouses are quite empty, and this one involved. You seem to be only keeping the men around. Has there been some issue in the area recently?
I heard that there was some goblins and kobolds down south of the Sword Hills. I did. Well, some say it's out of the Ardeep Forest. I can't be quite sure. You never know who to believe in these days. We send our girls up to Waterdeep. My sister lives up there. She's got a florist. We'll put them up with her for the time being, just a bit of precaution. But I tell you what, the Johnsonsons, they went a bit early and they didn't leave any men behind. And I thought I saw some people scrounging around in their property. I did, but I wasn't going to go and investigate. If they want to leave their property free for bandits, that's not my business.
That's true. These rumors, are they more extreme than the typical sort? I've heard that occasionally there'll be people that'll cry wolf, so to speak, about goblins and the sort, but there's definitely a lot of abandoned farmhouses around. Has anywhere been specifically attacked?
Make a persuasion roll. Looks like there's something that they don't want to particularly tell you. Like the boy with the crossbow, they look at each other, and yeah, you can see when brothers are hiding something. But you're important, and this is something. You're the sort of person that should know this. Lady Daggerford, the Duchess, she sent out a call for arms. She said that all men were required at Daggerford to take up spears and defend the walls in case of some sort of problem. But well, Father said that we need to look after our own, and besides, we're 30 miles or more from anywhere near Daggerford. This is free country. No. We're better off looking after our own property. Like I said, the Johnsonsons there, there's looters in their place. Oh, that's what had happened to us if we went down there and picked up a spear. Oh, no. We'll be staying right here, thank you. Sent our women up to Wardity. Daggerford can look after itself, thank you very much.
Of course. Well, thank you for passing this information on. And I'll toss them a couple of gold coins, 4 gold coins.
I mean, like they grab it, but they're not really. Yeah, okay, sure. That's what nobles do. They give coins to like people like us. Yeah, that's cool. They're a bit confused, but they take it.
It's useful information for us, and then I'll head back to the party
right.
and let them know that the Lady of Daggerford has put out a call to arms.
Where'd you get the coins from, son? Oh, the stranger, he just gave it to me. What for? For information. City folk, they pay money for information.
Well, that's a little confusing, isn't it? I mean, Sanchez's father just said that everything's under control. Why would the Duchess be putting out a call to arms if everything's fine?
Well, he could have just said that because it's difficult to convey a more detailed explanation via magic. I'm starting to think there might be something that we're not aware of that Lady Silverhand is. If the Lady of Daggerford's put out a call to arms, and all of a sudden Waterdeep sending 100 of the guard.
Perhaps, I'm not sure, but do you think they're trying to stop a panic? Maybe there is something wrong and they're just trying not to show it.
That's most likely. It's also why I'm thinking they didn't particularly say too much to us.
There's definitely more to the story, isn't there?
Well, either way, it's not necessarily our job. I just think we should be a bit more careful now.
Well, I think we should speak to the Duchess when we get to Daggerford, at least.
Oh, possibly.
You understand, Lucius, that if something happens to Daggerford, then there is nothing between the South and Waterdeep.
I'm aware, but I don't know, call me callous in this, but Daggerford is not our job right now, and no matter what happens here, I don't believe Waterdeep will be threatened at all.
Right.
I mean, we can find out about this, but our priority needs to be getting that asshole in the carriage to Borskir Bridge.
Are you saying this all out loud?
I
I'm assuming he's in the carriage.
God, I hope so.
The sergeant says, he coughs. Sphincter. Correct word is sphincter.
Yes, well, we will escort our sphincter to his proper place, and then I guess we'll go from there. We do need to make a stop at Daggerford, however.
Of course.
Alright. You're probably 20 miles out of Daggerford now. Okay, so we march at about 30 miles a day, you know, where there's no reason why we're pressing at any great speed, or is there? Are we trying to force march, or?
I mean, are the soldiers in any particular rush? I'm expecting that if something dire is happening, then the captain of the soldiers would be aware, and as such would be rushing.
You can talk to him about it.
Yeah, I think if there's been a call to arms, we should make haste.
See, I'm also thinking, I mean, if the captain himself doesn't seem to be rushing his men, it can't be something too urgent.
He comes up to you. He comes up to the party and says, "So I have heard that there are goblins or kobolds or ogres or something. I've heard conflicting reports of monsters mobilizing. Do you think that perhaps we should march harder? It will be 5 days at a regular pace. We could put in extra effort if you deem it necessary."
Well, the question is, if you do that, though, will you be exhausted by the time you get there and not be able to...
Aye, that is 30 miles a day wearing chainmail is hard enough. Trying to extract more out of the men may be punishing.
I'd probably say this is your call. We're a smaller group, so traveling faster would most likely be easier for us. As for the reports, I was hoping that maybe you'd know something about this. It at least makes sense as to why 100 of the city guard are being sent down this way.
He tries to get Cathra alone. Tries to get the nobleman alone, so every freaking dark elf doesn't hear the plan, you know. But he's elitist enough to trust the nobleman, particularly one who has a connection like the Amcathras do to the cavalry.
So he's got like a decent wisdom score then.
Exactly, that's right. Elitism and wisdom are the same thing.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
To the party, I think we calculated I can run about 120 miles an hour. I can run ahead and see if there's imminent danger and be back within an hour or two.
That's with a lot of things stacked. I don't think we have all those things available to us. Like, you don't have boots of speed, you don't have haste, you don't have...
Yeah, my base speed is 45.
Yeah.
Doubled at a run is 80, 90.
You have to take a rest every round after you use your maxi movement, though.
Yeah.
Maxi movement's one round only.
Not to mention that I don't know the exact rule, but if you were to try, it's in the rules that if you were to try and keep up an in-combat type of pace, like the movement speed you use in combat, you'd be rolling constitution checks for exhaustion. I can't remember what the time period is, though. I think it's either every minute or every hour.
It's not a bad idea. It's definitely not a bad idea, but it's very dangerous. Like, you could die so many ways. You know, you could exhaust yourself. You could be plucked off by wyverns. You could be picked off by monsters. But that's not. But that said, it's still a good idea. Particularly now when we're only 20 miles out of Dagger. So yeah, that's an option.
If
And I have
concerns
stealth.
us that much. If we could send one of our wizards ahead on a horse at full gallop, and once they get there, if they see any dire situation occurring, they can communicate with the other wizard and let us know, and we can force march to catch up.
I look to Lucius and...
Why don't you ride ahead on a goddamn horse?
Yeah.
Why do we have to do it?
I looked at those two and I'm like, I don't think they're really built for this.
No, perhaps not. And besides, I can't ride a horse.
If Ariok wants to go ahead, then let her. She can scout out the way ahead, but don't go too far. Come back.
Too far. It's 20 miles.
I think it's kind
20
of.
miles is a lot. Don't go that far.
I think it's kind of pointless to just run ahead to just see if there's danger, then run back and be like, yes, there's danger. Like, we're heading that way anyway. We might as well just show up together.
All right.
Yeah, right.
All right. So yeah, the what's he called? The Civilar. The Civilar takes Amcathra, takes Lucius to the side, and tries to explain their situation. Says, "No, I wasn't told that there was any problem. Now, I have a great deal of faith and trust in Laeral Silverhand. She is a more prudent ruler than Dagult Neverember was, and of course she is a legendary hero in her own right. Those who do not trust the intelligence and wisdom of the Seven Sisters are truly fools.
Of course.
But I was not made aware of any dangers. In fact, we're not a routine patrol per se, but it is not unusual for the Third Company to be used as an expeditionary force patrolling the tradeway. We have been doing this for centuries. Indeed, we have been positioned in Daggerford in our past, not any time while I was a member of this company, but say a century ago, prior to the spell plague. It was frequent that the Third Company would be placed in Daggerford. I think that this might be some sort of historic, some sort of nod to history by the Open Lord. Whatever the case, I did not realize that there would be any danger. I did not understand that there was any threat. I thought this was overkill, to be honest. What would we need both an army and an adventuring party to protect one dignitary?
I'm thinking perhaps there possibly was no issue when we first set out. Maybe it was just a suspicion or foresight of the Open Lord. I spoke with some of the farmers around here just recently, and they said that the Lady of Daggerfoot has only just put out a call to arms, so perhaps something's come up since we set it.
I have never met Morwen Daggerford, but I have heard almost universally that she is far more competent than her brother ever was. And she was also noted for her piety. She is a fervent worshipper of tempests.
So if she's put out a call to arms, it could be something serious.
Or it could be something very routine. The Tempest priests are known to react in a very similar way to both small and large problems. They hit them all with a hammer.
Either way, we do have somewhat separate tasks here. On the matter of whether we should speed things up, what's your opinion here?
I feel quite comfortable at this pace. If you and your mercenary band do not feel the pressure, then I am comfortable as you are.
Yeah, so the normal pace should be fine. I feel that if it was a true emergency, we would have been alerted to such.
We shall reach our destination early in the afternoon tomorrow, my lord.
Alright.
Alright. The ambassador that night criticizes the decision not to force march. Daggerfoot could be in a lot of danger, and now here we are, camping under the stars with our marshmallows and our cheap wine. What if the people are dying? What if the women are being raped? And we are lazing around like frogs?
It's fine, Your Highness, but although I mean...
Excellency, I am not a monarch. Not yet.
Of course. But I mean, the soldiers need to rest if they're going to fight. That said, I do believe our pair of Dark Elves were discussing going ahead earlier. They'd be happy to take you along if you really wanted to rush to Daggerford.
Yes, we can travel through the night. It'll take you out of the beaten sun, if you wish.
He goes pale. Make an insight check.
Which one was?
Anyone who's there who wants...
I don't think I'm there.
He's just worked out the conspiracies, Ephraim.
What? Oh.
He understands now why red wizards and dark elves, who? He's been betrayed by Laeral Silver.
I'm gonna sort of say I was just jesting, of course. You needn't travel at night. I think what Lucius is trying to say is that it would be far better to have our forces in combat ready than exhausted. You know, what's the point in arriving tired?
He's pale and sweating, and he's nodding very fast and shallowly. He's agreeing to anything you say.
Okay. All right. Fuck, I don't have any charm spells.
No, I mean, what do you... Zevram, I think you're missing the point. We don't need the 100 soldiers to be well rested and in good condition. We've got His Excellency over here he's sure that he's such a man that he'll be able to take on any threat that arrives in the night.
What threats are there in the night? Is this vampire country?
Look, does he have any attendants around or anything like that?
He didn't bring any attendants. That's
okay.
That's your job. You're his attendants.
The only one here that is, I guess, paying attention to him is us and the army or the camp. Civila. I'm just asking who's present at this moment.
Yeah. That's the Civila can be there. Yeah, sure.
Okay. Well, I'm
not there. Definitely.
I'm gonna break His Excellency's second rule. The third rule?
No.
I can't remember which one it was.
Yeah.
He's already panicked. You're about to.
And I lean down to him and I sultrily say, I suggest you calm down until we reach Daggerford.
Oh, God!
No.
Alright.
Not just magic,
Now-
but magic targeting him as well.
There's an important question here. Is this one of the spells where he knows that he's had magic cast on him if it fails?
No, it's not. But he made the save equal to my save. Shit.
But he would see you casting the spell nonetheless. You must never cast a spell in my presence!
I didn't. I was just suggesting you calm down. I flourish my hands sometimes when I talk. It's just how I talk. I swear.
The Civila leans in beside you and says, "May I have a word with you when this is done?"
You're gonna be scolded.
All right.
Oh, you're in trouble. We all point and snicker at him.
Lucius is just shaking his head like he's disappointed. Oh, Dark Elves.
So the ambassador goes and hides in a carriage. He gets sets guards on the door. The sergeant gets placed in protection. The sergeant doesn't fucking want to be here, but he's got to do what he's got to do.
Lucius, can you make sure he doesn't do anything stupid? I'm gonna go talk to the Civila.
Sarge, can you make sure he doesn't do anything stupid?
No, I'm busy. This evening I have plans.
Aldrich, can you actually? Never mind.
You thump the carriage once in a while. A little squeal comes out when you Alright. So the Civil takes Zevram away where no one can hear. Underneath the stars, underneath the moon. Are you a... Yeah, keep going.
Before he says anything, look, I'm sorry, I know I shouldn't use magic to solve my problems, but he's such an insufferable cunt.
The gods have decided to place kings above men. It is the divine hierarchy that we should serve them. This man is very important to the Lord's Alliance. It is very important that Scornubel remain a part of the Lord's Alliance. Have you heard of the Paladin of Elturgal?
I've heard that paladins make their station in Elturgal. Is that what you mean?
And that is the capital of a realm ruled by paladins, uncompromising in their dictates. They are good men and honourable and women, but they are totalitarian in their views. Scornubel lies very close to this realm and would easily fall under the influence of these individuals. And if that happens, the Lord's Alliance shall be weakened, for the trade way will no longer fall under the Lord's Alliance's control exclusively. Now you understand that whatever you might think about an individual lord or lady, they are your masters. You are to respect and serve.
Yes, I understand the way of the world. I've grown up on the streets, so I'm aware of what it means to be of noble birth. At least for some.
If you attempted that trick within the walls of Waterdeep, I would have you hanged.
Yes, I understand. I apologize. It will not happen again. And I will do my utmost to keep him safe, even given his hypochondriac state.
We are both military men, you and I. I am of the Guard, and you are of the Grey Cloaks. We both have our Lord's interest in mind. Let us work together.
Yes, of course. Again, I apologize. From now on, we shall work together, and I promise not to break any more laws.
Gods be good.
And to you as well.
During the night, you see a fire. It's maybe some 5 or 6 miles distant, just off the road. Over in the eastern section, like out in the plains. Does anyone care?
Does
This is nighttime.
It's a big
If
fire.
it's nighttime, I'd probably be on watch, keeping an eye out.
Absolutely.
So I'd probably notice it and then alert everyone else that there's something burning over there.
probably something flammable.
Likely.
Oh, just ignore it. I'm sure it's nothing.
Well, it's something. It's a fire.
Nothing that we need to concern ourselves with, I think.
Is that normal for the surface world, for things to just burst into flames?
No, these two are being a little facetious, I think. Why don't you go check it out, Adrastia? You have
Oh, yeah.
the best eyes of us here.
Just send them away. Go ahead. You go look.
5 or 6 miles into the wilderness.
Yeah. Have a good time. Enjoy that.
Be back by morning.
And how fast is the carriage moving? Could I hop off of it without?
It's not moving at all. We've camped for the night.
Oh, in that case, I'll say okay. I'll check it out. I'll gather my cloak around myself and check my equipment, and then start heading off in the direction of the fire with being sneaky, but also with haste.
Yeah.
I'll call out as you leave and just say, I'll if you're not back later, I'll be in touch. Good luck.
Understood.
I'll go with him.
Cool. Yeah, you've rested most of the day. The Tabaxi being just slept pretty much.
14 hours of sleep. I got full 14 hours.
Exactly. You got your full 14 hours. You could use another 3, but you'll put up with 14.
He's a tabaxi, he's a cat. He doesn't take long rests. His existence is a long rest.
Exactly. He has short bursts of activity as opposed to long rest.
You needn't accompany me if you wish not to. In fact, I'll be able to move faster on my own.
I doubt it.
I actually can't.
You actually laugh at her. You literally laugh.
Oh, very well then. Let's go.
You discover that she does not slow you down, while she may be not very adept at traversing through the wilderness. Nor are you. You're not very good with brambles and thorns and hedges and ditches. These are foreign concepts to you. Rain? What the hell's rain? I'm being rained on. This is kind of weird.
Very weird.
The rain's only quite light though, and so while it dampens the fire, it doesn't extinguish it. It takes you about 2 hours to get there, and the tabaxi is so incredibly fast at times it blows your mind. But when you arrive, when you're a quarter-mile distance, you don't see any activity. You just see fire. It's a homestead, a house with a barn and livestock, fields for agriculture. Only the house is on fire. The barn is not. The livestock are panicking, and some have escaped. Some of them have jumped the fence, but others are trapped in the pens. But yeah, the fields don't seem to be burning. The buildings don't seem to be burning, except for the homestead itself, where people live. It's a blaze. It's a blaze.
No one around?
Make a perception check. Doesn't seem to be. Just livestock, yeah. Adrastia, you kind of agree. There's no evidence that anyone is here at all. There's no sounds of clashing or yelling. It seems to be just animals.
How odd. The fire seems to be only consuming the main farmstead.
Looks like it, yeah, it's particularly the kitchen area has been utterly destroyed, and it's, yeah, sort of spread out from there.
Grease fires. Worst grease fires. Never put water on them.
I'm gonna look over to my tabaxi companion. What do you think? An accident?
I'll stealth up and take a closer look.
Sure, we'll make a stealth roll and an investigation. You're invisible. Even the drow loses you. You look around. What should we take a look? And Tabaxi's gone. Like, what the hell?
We're going more and more impressed with the tabaxi by the second.
She's confident when she does stuff. She does it well. You look around, Ariok, and you ascertain that someone left the stove on.
But there's nobody around.
No one's around. It looks like they abandoned this house, right? Like they probably ditched it and went to Waterdeep or Daggerford or whatever, and they left the stove on.
This is the classic. Did we turn the stove off before we left?
Well, I go open the pen so whatever livestock doesn't starve to death. And
You can have as many horses, as many goats, as many sheep and cows as you want. Chickens, go ahead. Add them to your equipment list. Take as many as you want.
No, I'm just setting them free so they don't starve.
Yeah,
and then I'm going to head back and tell them, yeah, they left the stove on. And start walking back to the camp.
I'll follow. I think we can both move pretty fast if we're
You do.
really booking it.
You get back
What's your max
just
speed?
before dawn. Yeah, it's not too important. Yeah, you get back just before dawn. And the party is
Just
ready.
in time for a nap.
Just in time for a nap, just at dawn. Someone makes you breakfast and then you pass out. Right. The army moves on, and as predicted, you reach the vicinity of Daggerford by early afternoon the next day. Once you're a few miles out of Daggerford, 2 or 3 miles out, you notice that many of the farms, most of which have got these little stone walls around their perimeters, are occupied. It seems that people haven't abandoned these areas, when they wave at you, they cheer at you, they're emboldened by your presence. This positive reception continues until you reach the walls of Daggerford itself. And you can see that people are streaming in, right? People are streaming into Daggerford much more fast than they're streaming out, and the guards are stopping them. They've got a big line, and we're going to do this orderly. Everyone, show me what you got. I'm going to check your equipment. If you're a boy over 13 years old, here's a spear. Go and stand over there. If you're a man over 60 years old, you can take a seat over there. Otherwise, pick up a spear. But while they're organising the common folk like that, you guys approach, and they just put all of that aside, and all the commoners, they just part. They get the hell out of the way, and the army, 100 soldiers and the heroes, they march into Daggerford and through the walls. So the guards are they regard you as dignitaries. They know who you represent, if not who you are specifically. And they say to the ambassador, hey, do you want to go and speak to the Duchess? And oh no, I am very tired. I have traveled so far. I need to have a rest. Oh my, I feel it in my bones. And so the ambassador goes and chills out. But the guards are, they're now left with you guys as the authorities here. You and at least you and the civil are, and then they're really happy to meet you. Hey, they don't even want to shake your hands because, maybe you don't want to shake my hand because I'm just a guard. But man, look, I'm so glad that you're here.
Yeah, I'll go around shaking people's hands. Sure.
Oh, silver cloaks! Oh, the silver cloaks! Yeah. Where are the silver cloaks? They ask.
Right.
I heard the silver cloaks are coming. Well, where are they?
I'm a silver cloak.
No. The silver cloaks are the handmaidens of Layrel Silverhand.
What?
What's a silver cloak?
They're the handmaidens of the Open Lord of Waterdeep. They're a special force within Force Grey that does the things. They're beautiful women that do things for Layrel Silverhand, and their leader is the beautiful sorceress Amara.
Oh, he called me beautiful.
That's not true at all. Where'd you get your information? And
Wait, I'm not
how
beautiful?
do you know? How do you know?
Where's Amara? Where's Amara? We want Amara.
Amara's not here, damn it! I'm here. I'm a silver cloak. I swear it.
I look a little disappointed.
Oh, no selfies?
I
Lucius is just Lucius has
and
just got his face in his hands oh my god.
Yeah, I pout and go back towards my horse and say, fuck this town.
It's Amara's boyfriend! They point at Lucius.
Lucius face palms even harder.
Is that Renea Neverember? Thanks.
God. I'm gonna turn to one of the guards. What exactly is happening here in Daggerford?
Oh, it might be best if the Duchess told you, but there's been goblins and kobolds and even ogres spotted on the edge of the misty forest. They've been coming out and hitting villages and travellers. It's It's not safe down there no more. All trade has come to an halt, it has.
Alright, it might be best if we go and see the Duchess. So I believe we'll be taking the Sevilla to speak with her, or is he reporting to someone else in the local guard?
Yeah, he'll come with you, yeah. It's probably best that he accompanies you.
Because, the 100 soldiers are under his command, not ours.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and the sergeant can take care of, making the camps or whatever needs to be done. I guess it's the lieutenant's job to go and speak to the people in charge, find out who his new masters are.
All right.
Well, I'm going to go around town dispelling these stupid rumors. You go and find out what's going on around here.
And I'm going to go the opposite direction and enforce these stupid rumors.
Alright. Those of you who are either enforcing or denouncing rumors, in either case, you discover a very interested populace, a very happy populace, thrilled, in fact. Your racial composition doesn't bother them, it doesn't seem. We're all soldiers here, and it's not like we're all humans. 90% of them are, but there's their share of, there's a couple of halflings and dwarves and a half-elf, and there's even a couple of lizardmen, 2 or 3 lizardmen. It's a bit of a multiracial force, but they really identify as soldiers, even though they're just farmers that someone gave a spear to yesterday. They see them as the defenders of themselves as the defenders of Daggerford, and you guys are defenders of Daggerford as well. So, we're like brothers now or something, right?
Right. No, I'll go with that. Yeah, I'm going to start giving out autographs.
Oh,
not asking for them.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Oh wow, I love your. I love you play the harp. I love it when you play the harp.
Pan flute, actually, but yes.
Yeah, that too.
Yes, both. Yes, why not? Sure.
Yeah, you look like a bard. That just
I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get the autograph of every farmer who has a spear.
Ah, absolutely. They're only too happy because they don't have much discipline, right, or any discipline at all. So they're not even sure what they're supposed to be doing, just standing around with a spear and shield. You're in the military, or you were. Hurry up and wait. This is their first experience of hurry up and wait. They're waiting for something to do, but dude, there's not going to be anything happening for a while. So they're happy to sign autographs and talk to you and tell you about their loves and their losses. A list of the dead. No worries. You start at Aaron and end up at Zebediah.
You mean Aaron?
I do. Alright. So meanwhile, Sanji, you also going in to speak with the dignitaries, and what about you?
I'll come with for sure.
Yeah, Eldritch and Adastria.
I'd say I'm probably gonna try and find a populated tavern and see if I can overhear anything from the ground level while they speak with the people at the top.
All right. You get suspicious looks as you enter the tavern, but they don't linger very long. They're just sort of, I guess, ingrained racism as opposed to active racism. Their instincts tell themselves to fear you, and it's a justifiable instinct. Maybe anyway, we won't go there. So you start going into the tavern and listening to. You discover, Adrastria, that there were adventurers that came through here quite recently. Their name was called the Blinding Light. They were like worshippers of moon and sun gods, that sort of thing. And anyway, they went out into the misty forest, and guess what happened?
They didn't come back.
You've heard this story before.
Have I?
No, I mean...
Oh, right, yeah. Because I guessed the outcome.
Exactly. It's an expression. Anyway, So yeah, that's right. Maybe 10 days ago, the blinding light was sent out to. Oh, there's goblins in the forest and kobolds. Oh well, we're aspiring heroes. We need 100 gold pieces. I've got my adventuring kit. He's got his explorer's kit. Let's go. And that was the last that we heard of.
I'll make a mental note of that. And just probably in a corner sitting by myself, because I doubt anybody would want to sit at the table with me.
Oh, they do. They come up and buy you a drink. They think that they saw you come in with the guard. You're part of the army, right?
Yeah, that's true.
I'll buy you a drink, and it's soon after they bought you a drink that you can tell, these are males of about age 17 to 23. And yeah, they've heard all about dark elves.
Well,
Yeah, they like to be dominant.
dominant. Or maybe if they get me drunk enough, then maybe.
There you go. Well, that certainly your lack of hostility does encourage them, and yeah, they're happy to. I mean, more than happy to fund your night of frivolity and talk, and they've each got a different opinion on what's going on. Right? Some of them say the Zentarum are behind it, and that the Zentarum have this arch wizard who secretly rules over Waterdeep, and that he's actually this arch wizard is the secret hidden lord of Waterdeep. And the Zentarum is behind it. Other people say it's the Red Wizards. The Red Wizards of Thay are behind it. They enchant people and they do stuff like that. They turn you into a toad if you betray them. Definitely the Red Wizards. No, it's the Giant King. The Giants have sent this. The Giants are manipulating the humanoids, the ogres and the goblins, and they're doing everything the Giants tell you. Well, duh! It's the Dark Elves. Everyone knows that the Dark Elves manipulate the Giants.
And a hush goes over the room.
It does. Yeah. I didn't mean you. I mean, you're... Then they get a bit suspicious of it.
Well, I just don't answer them. I just act like they didn't say anything and just keep drinking.
Alright. We have reached Daggerford Garcia.
Okay.
In spite of their suspicion and the possibility that you might be a traitor and you might be one of those dark elf females who manipulates giants into displacing ogres, into motivating goblins, into forcing kobolds to attack our nations, I still want to have sex with you, and so I'm still going to keep buying you drinks all night. So don't go anywhere while I go and take a piss. Meanwhile,
Take a break.
no.
Oh, sorry.
No, this is that's what's happening in the end. Meanwhile. Those of you who go to meet the dignitary, who go to meet the Duchess, the guards are happy to take you, particularly when the ambassador is unwilling to do it. But it's not the Duchess that you meet with. Instead, you're taken into a neat and tidy office where there are some trophies, one of which is a red wizard's robe, which has been put behind glass, and it looks like it got pretty badly cut up at some stage. That red wizard, there's a bit of stained blood on it. And sitting behind a desk with his glasses on, squinting as hard as he can to read the damn fine print, is a hulking, white-bearded fellow who looks something between your grandfather and the warlord that's going to crush the world. Huge and armored, but also deeply paternal. Who are you? He introduce you, and when he realizes that one of you is nobility, he stands.
Lucius and Cathra of Waterdeep. We've been traveling here on a mission. We're accompanied by 100 of the city guard. We've been hearing all kinds of things upon arriving in the city. What exactly is going on?
Lord Llewellyn Longhand, he says, I've been operating in these parts for decades. My family have held on to that property throughout the spell plague, and I say things are dangerous right now, more dangerous than I'd realized. You know, I've done some things in my life. I've seen some things, but I think we're on the verge of a horde. I think that a horde is going to break on us any moment now. Kobolds and goblins. We sent some adventurers out there to explore, and they haven't come back. I had a feeling that it was more dangerous than we'd first predicted, but you know what they say, goblins and kobolds. No problems, go goblins. Well, I tell you, it's the little ones. You sometimes underestimate them. They can really get under your skin. Cockroaches are hard to exterminate, you know.
Where you're speaking about this, are you expecting a serious problem of the sort of, Cormier a century or two ago?
I don't know about that. No, I don't think things are quite so bad. I don't think things are quite so bad. But this trade way, it's dangerous right now. There's war bands of monsters roaming up and down. Ogres, and goblins, and kobolds, and gnolls reaving. Can't get any trade through. Can't get any trade through at all. Haven't seen any for some time. They're starving us. They're beginning to starve us. It's going to get worse. And well, if lesser heads that sit on their hands right now, they wouldn't do anything. But not our Duchess. No, she's proactive. She's getting into it. She's assembled the armies already. She's a wise woman, that one. Just like your Silverhand. A smart girl, that one.
I'm sure. I'm assuming this issue has already been, or at least some sort of message has already been sent to Waterdeep.
Aye. The Duchess and the Lord's Alliance are in constant contact with each other. Magic, you know.
Of course. I'll look over at the captain, see if he's got anything to add.
No, he doesn't think so.
Alright. Well, are you expecting things to escalate any time in the next few days?
No, I plan to escalate them. We plan to escalate them. We're going to take the battle straight to the bastards. That's why we've assembled the army for. I'm not going to sit here and wait while they pillage and plunder our lands and destroy the economy and frighten people. No. Every commoner's worth 2 goblins, I say. We got some hardened men and women in our force, and now that I see your army marching through the gates, I have a mind to succumb to them. Yes, I have a mind indeed, and we're going to take this army. We're going to smash them, and we need you. And he points. We need you at the vanguard. Smash the hordes and inspire the people. You know, these are they're not experienced warriors. If they can see battle without actually seeing battle, then I think it'd do them a lot of good.
I understand what you're saying. I'll kind of silent. But I will need to discuss this with the rest of my party. Of course, the soldiers of the city guard from Waterdeep plan on staying in Daggerford here, but we've been specifically assigned a separate mission to look after the, kind of useless aristocrat that can't handle it.
I know how you're just saying. I know all about it. You killed the fucking Xanathar. Kobolds and goblins, they're beneath you. I know what you're saying.
No. You've misunderstood me. We'll likely help if we can. This is just not something I can promise of my own regard, as we've already accepted a different mission here.
woman walks in the door. No, she strides in the door. Her hair is grey, partly from age and partly from parentage. And her armor is sparkles and shines, but has significant dents and cracks in it that reveals its battle wear. Indeed, her tabard, which freely bears the mark of Tempest, Lord of War, is splattered, stained with dried blood. You must understand, she says. We have real need for you. We need your help in the Misty Forest. We will be taking the army into the forest itself. I am well aware of the tactical dangers of this, but if we could have a spearhead to clear away any of their warlords or any of their true resistance, then I feel that we could thin the numbers of kobolds and goblins for a generation. I am not like those lords who are willing to wait until the tide reaches the doorstep. I will break these hordes before they become a menace.
Of course, I understand that. And I'm not trying to find an excuse not to help you here. I'm just saying, quite seriously, we are here on a separate mission of sorts to the city guard. To put it simply, we've been sent to escort the ambassador of Skornjevo down to the Boskia Bridge, and his personality is somewhat abrasive. If we were to head off on some other job, it's highly likely he'd cause issues for us.
My lord, do you know who I am?
I do.
You will be aware that the Daggerford name is legendary among the Sword Coast. If I, as a representative of the Lord's Alliance, should have a word with my own fellow member of the Lord's Alliance, I am sure that I can persuade the ambassador of the urgency of our various task.
If you can persuade him in this matter, there'll be no issue hindering us anymore. That is, quite seriously, the only concern I have with this issue.
Very good. Then when the time comes to distribute your 100 acres of land, I would be happy to advise you on the best places for agriculture.
Very well. I'll kind of glance over at Sanj. Are we in agreement here?
I think so.
Then we have a deal.
She looks at Sanj a little bit too long. Make an insight check, Sanj.
Sure.
Oh god, she doesn't have a fish fetish, does she?
She's
Just
smiling
seems-
at you.
Just interested. She is not smiling.
Oh.
She is not. But she hasn't yet smiled.
Sure. I'll hold her gaze until she looks away.
Oh, staring contest.
She doesn't look
Yeah.
away.
And in that case, then after some time, a small while, Sanj diverts his gaze.
Does she blink?
She blinks. Has she got like one of those
dead?
dragon things?
I'm asking you, if I was there, I'd be like, she's got a fucking brain dog in her head.
There, they've reached far. Nihilus reaches.
Well, Lucius in his head is putting two and two together here. She's given Sandra kind of awkward looks, and we know Sandra's family's in Daggerford, so clearly she's his daddy's ex-girlfriend.
You've worked it out.
Maybe it's his mother.
Good day. Good day. Tempest, give us strength, she says at last. Together we shall prevail. It is me.
Cool.
Alright, I guess you better go and tell the party.
Yeah,
As we're walking away, I just want to speaking to Lucius here. I'm just gonna say, isn't it? I don't like the fact that now that we're here, it's all too convenient to no longer have to worry about this Duke, right? Like, and now we're helping. Not that I have an issue with it, of course, but it's just funny, right? Like from the get-go, we've heard about issues popping up over in Daggerford, and now it's a matter of the fact that the Duchess Daggerford herself is going to speak to this guy and make sure it's all good for us to help her here. It sounds like it could be pretty serious.
Well, if they're going on the offensive, it does make sense. I'm going to hazard a guess that they don't know exactly what they're facing just yet. Even before we met you, Sanj, we'd kind of built up a name for ourselves.
It's understandable, of course. Alright, I suppose we should let the others know then. Let's do that.
You find Adrastria first. She is surrounded by admirers. They're kind of they're a bit fearful for their lives. They've got their hands on their daggers, but they know what dagger they want to use.
I'm a couple of drinks in at this point. So, yeah. Somewhere
Oh no! Sorry. Does Evrim, are you there as well?
I was going around town, but I may have ended up there. I don't know.
Because I'm just imagining that when Zevram walks in, they mistake it for the boyfriend, not understanding the difference between brown and like they, they fucking hate you the instant you walk in. It's like if I don't care who nails her, but it's not him. It's gonna be one of us.
I will misconstrue this hatred for thinking I am not a silver cloak.
Yes.
I swear I'm a silver cloak. Come on, guys. I'm not a handmaiden.
Sorry to derail that, but
Yeah, we'll leave them be in their awkward situation and go find the others, I think.
So yeah, you probably should tell Kaisia. They've been very ill during the past few days. They've been feverish and have been in the back of the carriage, barely coherent.
So, yeah, that probably means you've been stuck in the carriage with this dickhead ambassador who, he's a real shit, he is.
I wasn't paying any attention to him. He's staring me in the face, just yelling at me. I'll just kind of blank gaze behind him.
He's like the kind of guy that the very first time Zevram meets him, he's like, you have to call me, what was it?
Your Excellency.
Your Excellency. It's just like, oh god. But yeah, so we've taken him to Daggerford, no one likes him, and the Duchess has put out a call to arms because of kobolds and goblins and monsters and shit.
And because we're 8th level adventurers, we're gonna kill kobolds.
The kobolds, aren't they really dangerous?
Only for newbies.
There's so many of them. I hear stories all the time of people being surrounded and just poked to death.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you don't need to worry while me and Sanj are here. Between the two of us, we can probably take out 200 or 300.
Oh,
And the rest. Come on.
So?
Easily.
Please. You guys are really brave, you know that?
Oh, mind you, we'll do it from about 120 feet away.
Oh, yeah. That makes more sense.
I mean, what kind of idiot goes right up there in stabbing rain?
Hey.
I guess this kind of idiot. I was kind of look down and sour. Sorry.
Oh.
Anyway, yeah, we're fighting kobolds and goblins now.
Yeah, apparently our abilities are best used elsewhere. So I wouldn't even say we've been commissioned to help, we've just been told that we're now helping, right?
Yeah, we don't have too much of a choice in the matter, being it's the Lord's Alliance issue. Conscripted is probably a better term.
Oh, okay. Wake me up when it's time to go. Or something else happens.
Are you feeling better?
A little bit. It's
Good.
Motion sickness. It's the traveling. I've never been good at travel.
That's
Any-
unfortunate. We're only about a quarter of the way there.
Maybe if I walked more of it, I'd feel better. But it being on the personal guard duty of the Baron, yeah. And being stuck in the cart the whole time just makes me terrible.
Fair enough. Alright.
Alright. We might take a short break at this stage. And when we come back, you'll be just like those commoners were. You'll be hurry up and waiting. What are you doing here? What are you even doing here? See you shortly.
Well, hang on. Agricultural advice is not the reward. The reward is having a good relationship with our new neighbor. That and winning a whole heap of territory in an area infested with goblins is probably not a good thing.
Probably not.
I'm just gonna go make a coffee. Back at 5.
Oh.
I'll probably get a drink too.
Jeez, the ranger gets so few spells known. Crazy.
Oh, by the way, if you want to take the chance to have bought some stuff before you left Waterdeep, Garcia, then...
I mean, I don't have money, so...
Right.
I don't believe in the concept of money.
Oh, by the way, it's canon now that when we left the city, Ash took over Fala's
Okay.
place.
That's good.
Because Arctic was like, oh yeah, what are you guys doing with Fala's place? Are you going to break in and steal her potions and stuff? And we're like, yeah, we'll just hand Ash the key when we're leaving the city. And he's like, okay. She doesn't even bother with any of the other stuff. She just moves in.
Yup. Opening up the zombie weed shop.
Yeah. So it's like, oh yeah, no permits or anything. It's just like, oh yeah, I've got the key. It's mine now.
Yeah, I changed the sign a little bit, but yeah. If I feel bothered.
So we're no longer preparing for a tribe of lizardmen and a dragon, then, are we? It's now little goblins and kobolds.
Well, we've traveled like 5 or 6 days to get here, and we've got to travel like another 10 days to get to Borsgate Bridge. So yeah, we're preparing for kobolds and goblins and maybe ogres and trolls.
Oh my.
I think we need to mark off our rations, don't we?
Oh yeah.
Not really. Like, while you're here, the Duchess will take care of you. If you want to mark off your rations, go ahead. But if you don't, then someone will give you some soup and bread.
Yeah.
I was thinking on the way down here. That's all.
Well,
Absolutely.
I feel like
yeah, good point.
yeah.
Yeah, so 5 days is how long it's taken to get.
What are we doing for rations? Exactly. Is it just one ration per day?
Yeah, I think that's the way it's intended.
Okay.
Like,
Well, I
is
have a
it
good
two-
theory that I would have been casting anyway, so...
yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, I figured it's like, especially, we're 7th level or whatever, we're high level characters, mid level characters along a major trade route. I don't think running out of food is going to happen.
Mhm.
It might.
Well, I can feed 6 other people every day.
Yeah, get me in on that.
Mhm.
Thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
Cool. All right, and yeah. So we're now hurry up and waiting. You're able to talk with each other and continue your socializations. If Adastria, wants to take one of the men home and chop off his head and then eat his corpse afterwards, then that's her business. Yeah. So do you really just want to fast forward that, or is there anything that you want to do here in Daggerford? Hurry up and wait, right?
Back. I am back.
Do you want to go speak to your parents, Sarge?
Yeah, for example, yeah.
I had thought about that on the way here, and I think that while I'm on the job and while we have things to do, I think I'll wait. It's been a long time, and I'm admittedly a little apprehensive about it.
No worries at all. There's ample time to. You're probably invited to dinner, each of you, if you want to come, or breakfast perhaps the next morning. Yeah, probably a breakfast, a warrior's buffet breakfast with the other dignitaries. There's probably about 10 or 12 of you. The Duchess and her family, Lord Llewellyn Longhand, a couple of priests of Tempest. One's a dwarf. Obviously the ambassador, and each of you, and that probably makes up the virtually the whole table. So you don't have to come if you don't want to, but you are invited.
How many weird looks would I get walking through town?
What do you look like?
She's got a polar bear.
Yeah, polar bear and wearing some exotic furs. Like, really.
Only encouraging looks. They want you here in Daggerford. Daggerford's population has tripled or quadrupled over the past 5 days or so, and most of the people who have come in to pick up a spear and play soldier. And so when you come in with your exotic coat and your polar bear, they know exactly what you are. You're an adventurer. Like, I don't know, maybe you're a wizard. Doesn't matter. Whatever you are, you're an adventurer, and that's good, because the last adventurers went into the forest and didn't come back. They didn't have a polar bear, so you're probably better than them. So yeah, you don't really get weird looks so much as admiration and astonishment.
Nice.
And the buffet breakfast, there's sausages and tomatoes, there's hash browns and bacon and eggs. There's 3 different types of juices. We're talking light-hearted talk. We're also talking business, important stuff. But if no one else is volunteering, if everyone else is, being a bit quiet, then Lord Llewellyn's doing most of the talking. And he's talking about how back in his day, I started on kobolds, I did. Well, I started on kobolds and goblins, moved up to ogres. I ended up trolls. I killed my share of trolls in the day. Tell us about the Red Wizard. Oh, Kylo. Well, he got me good, he did. A fireball and some sort of ice spell of snow something. Oh yes, I thought I was a goner. But I quaffed a healing potion and I charged him. I did. I charged Tempest. I said, Tempest, bless me, and cleaved him in half, and had to get the rope stitched back together just so I could hang it on my wall. I did. They've tried to They've tried to hit me since, the Red Wizards. Oh yeah, they've tried to have their revenge, but oh well, they're a long way from Thay.
Well, they're not actually.
But what made them mad at you in the first place?
Well, they say they've got they interfere with business in my town and Waterdeep and the Shining Valley. They're always got their meddling hands, pulling strings, sponsoring monsters. I pay them and encourage them to cause trouble in our lands, like insurgents.
Oh, I see.
Can't trust the Red Wizards.
No, of course not. That makes sense.
There's news of the Red Wizards joining up with the Zentarum.
Yeah. Wouldn't put it past them, I tell you.
Also, there looks like they might be looking for something in the region here.
Oh? Asked the Duchess. They have a quest of their own?
Well, I'm not sure on the details of it. Just rumors that they're searching for some sort of elemental artifacts.
The cult of elemental evil?
Well, I'm not sure if it has anything to do with that, but that sounds interesting. Is that a problem here?
It is said that Dragonspear Castle has sinister origins. There are varying accounts upon whose ruin it was originally built on. Many say they were devil worshippers, souls bound to the hells. But the episodes are inconsistent. It could be something else. There has also been rumors that a temple to elemental evil lay beneath Dragonspear Castle. A unholy amalgamation of the 4 elemental princes of evil. I am no scholar. I do not understand history or the exact nature of these dark religion. But the Temple of Elemental Evil is an old name. Long before we called this place Daggerford, there were legends of such a place in the mountain.
Well, that sounds like something that we should check out, perhaps.
Be careful. It would be terribly unwise to just walk into a hornet's nest when you are unprepared. Dragonspear Castle is best avoided. If you can help it, you should not come within 50 miles of it.
Right, I think we'll give it a wide berth as we head down south. When we do head south.
Isn't that where we're going?
Eventually.
For the time being, we have to pass Dragonspear Castle and head further southeast.
Oh, I said that out loud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he responded.
Tell me about your exploits, the Duchess asks Ariel. Your people are notable hunters and warriors with an exquisite culture. Indeed, it is often said that it is hard to find anyone who does not love the Tabaxi. What stories do you have to?
I don't have many stories. I was orphaned at a monastery and do not know my people. And basically, I learned from the monastery everything.
Well, if you should wish to settle down, I am sure that you would find the climate here agreeable.
Yeah, warm and sunny. I like that.
And so you're yeah, you sand shoot. That's no problem. And so your breakfast concludes. You have your light conversations, and Longhand wants to show you the troops. You briefly touch on tactics during the breakfast, and the fact that you haven't seen the troops means that, at least from Longhand's point of view, you can't really offer much in the way of advice. So he takes you for a tour. Is there anyone who would find this so unbearably boring that they do not accompany him?
I would probably find it extremely boring, and I don't know, take a walk around Daggerford, maybe. Or have a look around the estate.
He's more than disappointed. He's angered. He's literally angered. We've got lives at stake here, he says to the rest of you. We're trying to defend not just one town, but the whole damn Lord's Alliance. And people can't spare a fucking hour to learn about the capabilities of their soldiers. You're just going to send them in to die, are we? He says this after you're gone.
I'd go.
Okay.
Yeah. He says this after he's gone. He's saying this to everyone.
I wouldn't be too concerned about him. Zevram is the... I can't think of the word for it. He's very... Not the most... Yeah, look, it's tough to explain, but Zevram's not someone who's really interested in knowing these kinds of things. He's more of a... Zevram is aware of where his capabilities lie. When it comes down to it, he'll fight alongside everyone else, but...
And what happens when 500 arrows are coming at him? What will he do then?
He's quite capable, I assure you. He's got his own magic and ways of preserving himself.
Oh, we're fighting in a war now. We're fighting in an army. You're not some little war band. We need to know each other's capabilities. I know yours, you don't know mine. So listen in.
What I mean to say is Evram is more like a weapon of sorts. As me and Sanja here, he'll listen to us. You don't need to worry about
it. The third company, they need no explanation. You've traveled with them, you know them well. Halberdiers. Armored. The only reliable force we've got. I'm not really sure how we'll use them in the battle. But to tell you the truth, I think I'll just leave it to them. I reckon that they're going to do the bulk of the heavy lifting in any upcoming conflict. We're going to have to trust them to know what to do. Now, what do you think? How would we use the third company in battle?
Well, you've said you're expecting ogres.
There's ogres in there. Hill giants, too. Ghouls. Werewolves.
Depending on their numbers, the third company at least is halberdiers. They probably have better chances than, well, conscripted folk from the local area when it comes to some of the larger creatures.
Well, this is what we got left. Gestures towards a few different groups of people who are assembled. These ones are the most reliable, I'd say. And he shows you a bunch of guys. They've got a bit of experience, each and every one of them. Half of them have already killed kobolds or goblins before. They know what to do, but they don't have much leadership. I thought I'd give Haxor Harrigan control. He was there at breakfast. That big priest, the big Tempest priest. They're our only missiles, though. They're the only ones we've got with any bows. So, I thought I might support you and draw the enemy out of their defenses.
Yeah, they make good reserve troops. Keep them in the back.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, how organized do you expecting these goblins and kobolds to be? Is this going to be just, well, a disorganized horde, or?
That depends, and if we find any red wizards or not, don't it?
I'd probably say that if there's a red wizard on the battlefield, you'll want the rangers to, well, fill them with holes.
Well, I want you to fill them with holes.
Are you expecting a red wizard?
I don't know what to expect. People are saying all sorts of things. Some people are saying the dark elves are behind all of it.
These guys that he showed us that are his only range units, what type of weapons are they using? Like short bows, long bows, crossbows?
There's 100 of them. They have leather armor, short bows, and spears.
Just short bows, okay.
These, he says, these ones are, they've got a lot of heart. Not a lot of skill, but a lot of heart. They're only young, but they died for this town. I know they would, and I hope they don't. Truly hope they don't. But they make up for what they lack in skill. They make up for in courage. There's 200 of them.
Is that the right image for the young and experienced ones?
That's my people.
Yeah. The youngsters, the enthusiastic ones, they'll probably be capable of handling goblins as long as they're not overrun.
Perhaps keep them close to the town as the rear guard.
Glad you're thinking about it.
I think you should leave the farmers to the town.
These are farmers.
Oh no, these are the farmers, he says, and he gestures towards the largest force. And the largest force is made up of just green militiamen, boys, old men, the farmers, anyone who has been forced to fight that really, really shouldn't be fighting.
Do they mainly have spears or other weapons?
No, they have scythes, they have bills, they have clubs, they have pitchforks. I don't think they're going to be much use. The Duchess herself, or I shall lead them. One of us, maybe both. But,
Well,
they're going to die they're going to fall like wheat if they get into battle.
or you could keep them here. They know this land better than anyone, and they know all the berms and hiding places. They might be a better defensive.
You're thinking. I like you.
Fighting is what I do.
Does this town predominantly worship Tempest?
Well, he's the local god, but they love Shantia mostly, I think. Agriculture, you know.
Maybe that's your problem. Maybe that's the people problem.
Aldrich.
That's why they can't handle a couple of goblins and kobolds, because they serve weak gods.
Might be so. But, there's battles like this that'll harden them up. As they live. Ain't no substitute for experience.
Yeah.
I'm apprehensive about leaving the farmers and the elderly and the young to watch over the city should anything go wrong.
Does Daggerford have walls?
Let's see. I've got some maps of Daggerford.
Otherwise, they're just cannon fodder. If we bring them into the forest and they're not used to it.
There'll be sitting ducks in there, I think.
Alright, apparently it is a walled town.
Yeah, even a simple soldier can drop stuff from walls and stuff.
Daggerford's been walled and it has a moat. You know, it's for ages now, hasn't it? It's been
And it has
over 100 years.
Technically a second wall as well, or even a third wall when you look up at the manor. Like, this is a rise up here. It's a pretty well defended little town. Hey,
Yeah, I mean,
they're pretty smart.
It's in this area of.
Yeah,
It has to
it's
be
well.
well defended.
Yeah, exactly. Well funded. but also highly threatened. It's just too important, you know. Yeah, it'd be like losing Tijuana. While that might not seem that significant, it'd have a hell of an impact on Los Angeles.
Well, San Diego.
Yeah, that's better analogy.
Do they have anyone in the city that can cast sending?
We do.
No,
We do.
not us. In the
Sanj,
city, like,
is your parents, are they wizards?
My old man was a wizard. Yeah.
He could
Yeah.
cast sending. Yeah.
right. So I mean, the peasant militia should be fine to look after the place. Even if there's an attack, they can have Sanja's father notify Sanj, and then we can head back with the troops. But I don't think there's any we're going after the main threat, unless there's some hidden threat that we aren't aware of. The city should be fine, because even if some threat does manage to breach the wall, they can fall back to the second wall.
And if you blow down all the farmers, then what's the point in saving Daggerford if there's no one to support?
Yeah, that's a good point, sir. And those are very good points. So Llewellyn agrees with you. What Lucius said is that if we're taking our fight to the main force, then hopefully there isn't some elaborate ruse where they're going to send a Tarask to our town while we're distracted. But on the other hand, we can't afford to lose the villagers, which is what the Duchess was saying. You know, most lords would just be like, "Oh well, everyone man the walls, Daggerford will be fine." But she's like, "Yeah, but the farmers, you know, who's going to look after? Who's going to bring us the meat and pumpkins, guys? We've got to go and kill these."
The only concern would be if there were wizards, if there were wizards like the Red Wizards involved. But I feel like if they were involved, they wouldn't attack Daggerford with the main forces away, because their target would most likely be the Duchess or this lord or someone.
Who, me? I'm too old. No one's gonna bother trying to hurt me.
Wasn't he just boasting about how there's a big thing between him and the Red Wizards?
Oh, of course. They've been trying to get me for years. I haven't managed to do so now. I don't see how they're going to succeed anytime soon.
Yeah, my point.
Sorry to cut you off.
As long as this, if it's a kind of mindless horde of monsters, then the Daggerford won't be in trouble while we move out to engage them. And if there is a secondary force, I can't see them as having a reason to target the peasants. Like, if there was any meaning behind this other than it just being a group of monsters, it'd probably be one of the leaders of the city.
Sorry, Mark, you were saying something?
No, don't worry about
it. Cool. No worries. All right. No further thoughts?
I would like to ask if there's any wounded in the city.
Any wounded? Yeah, there are some. Yeah, absolutely. Not too bad though. Like we're at 99% though. You could certainly help up around the edges, but things aren't dire.
Oh, okay. Do you have a place to bring the wounded after the combat? Maybe we should set that up now.
They do not, other than the temple itself, like the shrine. But setting up a triage at the shrine, he thinks is a magnificent. He's very happy with your idea.
So I'd help bring lumber over to that and hammering nails from.
Cool. All right. So while we're inspecting the troops, some of us are inspecting the troops here in the drill ward. You're feeling, innovative. You're feeling confident. Kobolds and goblins, possibly reinforced by or driven by some other unseen force. There's nothing we can't handle. And Lord Llewellyn clears his throat after laughing. He says, this reminds me of when I went into Anarok. I went underneath the ground, I did. I was looking for Netherese ruins.
and I found a great city of magnificent treasure. And he reaches out as if towards the horizon, and as he does, he turns to ash and blows away on the wind.
Oh my god, Avengers.
We roll for initiative.
Do we see what turns into ash?
No, we did not.
Oh boy.
We're in this area.
Yeah, that's right.
A bit small.
It means you can hide really well.
I'm trying to figure out how to resize my token, because I assume we're supposed to be big enough to fill one of these squares.
It doesn't matter too much. Alright.
I don't think you're on there, Garcia.
Oh, that's right.
Alright. He's just telling a story. Telling you about Netherall, and he just vaporizes, just disappears on like ash, like as if he was a piece of paper that had been consumed in an instant. He's gone.
Now I really feel guilty for not listening to his stories.
You never know, how what opportunities you'll have.
Guys, we can't beat Thanos.
We can try.
We can try.
We don't have an Iron Man. We don't even.
All we need is for Orbit to go up someone's ass and Sarge to cast.
Just enlarge. Boom. That's how we made him.
Why don't we just both cast Reduce on the polar bear, and then
There
the
you
polar bear can climb up his ass and we'll drop the
Just be a
spells.
tiny little bear straight in there and then stop concentrating. See you later.
Climb up his bare ass.
Boo.
Ariok, the man who was telling a story, has turned to ash. Everyone begins panicking. What do you do?
We don't see an enemy, do we?
Not immediately, no.
Well, I look for an enemy.
No worries. You spend your action, make a perception. Alright. You spot them all.
Oh, nice.
I point and say, there.
There.
People will
They're
need to
over
make
there.
insight checks to follow your advice. Otherwise, they'll have to make perception checks of their own.
Do we
So-
do the insight check now?
No, you may not.
Okay.
Alright. So, this is what you've seen. There are a few buildings here inside the town of Daggerford, near the field, near the training field, that have that are occupied by individuals who are seeking cover you see a pair of wizards, and you can see that they're in the preparation of casting spells already, hiding behind rocks, using what cover they can. One is on an elevated area, on a rise about 20 feet up, and the other one is hidden behind a window within an abandoned house. And finally, a red wizard, someone clearly with the Thayan robes, the Thayan head tattoos, is he holds in his hand a scroll which disappears as he points at Llewellyn Longhand, and the scroll turns to ash at the same time as the Lord turns to ash, and he tries to hide, but you've already seen him by then. He is protected by a warrior who has a massive two-headed hammer in one hand, and his left hand has a kind of vambrace, much like a Wolverine claws, kind of razor-sharp claws coming out of a claw glove. That's your action. You've still got a bonus action and a move to go.
So all of this is inside Daggerford, in the area we're inside is the training field?
That's right. We're inside the walls of Daggerford right now, and the part you're in is actually, the training field. That's correct.
Is that wall going to be a problem for me?
It's only about 3 feet high.
Okay, so that's not a problem.
So unless you're a dwarf or a halfling, it's not an issue.
It can offer you cover, but not much in the way.
Okay, for movement, I go there.
Damn, you fast.
45.
Alright. So you're standing now in the rubble of a half-built house. Like, some of the brickwork is in place, the roof hasn't been put on, parts of the walls are higher than other parts of the walls. And yeah, you've run to engage the wizard and his guardian. Alright, everyone can now make a reaction, if they want to use their reaction, that is, if you want to use it, to spot these other two individuals. You can easily enough see where Ariok has run to. That's not going to be a challenge. But if you want to use your reaction to try to spot the other two, thanks to his advice, you can, if you like.
That be
think I will.
perception or insight?
Insight.
Yeah, I will.
Insight.
Yeah.
I might as well give it a try.
I'm gonna hold my reaction.
No
You
way.
said they're both casting spells.
They're prepping.
So if we use our reaction to see them, we can't counterspell, but if we don't use our reaction, we can't see them, so we can't counterspell.
Rule lawyer.
Oh, if I was being a rules lawyer, I'd say how you don't need to use a reaction to do perception.
My insight's the same as my perception.
No worry. You're well aware of everyone. Zevram and Kaisia, you're not Adrastria, you are. Alright, so it's now your go at Adrastria.
Okay.
Kaisia.
Bjorn sees him.
Bjorn's good.
What's this wizard doing up here? They
Casting a spell. It looks like they are creating flames in their fingers.
Right. Let's see. We're gonna move right there, up against the wall. I'll brace my heavy crossbow on the wall. Not that it gives me an advantage, but I'll just.
No, but it does give you a +2 to your armor class, so.
And then fire off 3 shots at the wizard.
Dun dun dun!
Oof. I assume they all hit.
I'm
they?
sorry, I'm on a different. I can't say. What did you roll?
all above 20.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay, so that's 14 for the first one. That's 12 for the second. And 14 again for the third.
What's that in total?
40.
Yeah, 40.
That's what I thought, which reduces it to exactly 0.
Good.
Oh, don't forget your extra 1d8 as well.
Yeah, I was about to mention my extra bonus damage, but it looks like I don't need it.
Kill it deader.
Just pin cushioned.
Yeah, the bell fizzles on his lips. Alright, who's next?
Big guy?
Yeah.
Hammer dude?
Yeah, the guy with the hammer.
Right. Cool. Alright, and so he turns to face the threat that has just recently come to endanger his master. The Red Wizards form an elite core within their society, above even the nobility, above even the government. And so he knows when his place is to die. Alright. See. He has in one hand a two-handed maul and in the other a claw, and he slashes across the face of the tabaxi with an ironic slash from his tiger claw. It opens your face up, Ariok, for 9 points of damage, and you begin bleeding. So at the start of your round, sorry.
Am I allowed to use my bonus action since I didn't use it?
No.
So I can't use evasion?
No, you need to do that in your turn.
Yeah. Bonus actions need to be taken on your turn. Reactions can be taken at any time, but bonus actions, and movement must be done.
Okay, noted.
It then grabs the handle with his second hand, and unleashes a punishing systemic chain of blows that smashes down upon you with a tremendous force.
What the fuck?
Wow.
That's 7, 8. How many is that?
What's that? 41.
Fucking A. I'm at 0.
Right. Satisfied, he then resumes his position, ready to defend the wizard against any future assault.
Well, so much for having a 19 AC.
Kaisia, you see that the magician is about to cast.
I didn't see the magician.
Ooh, excellent. Just your bear.
Yeah.
Your bear is like, uh-oh.
So I'm gonna kind of lean down, whisper to Zero, Bjorn, where are they? Show me.
Bjorn cannot take an action yet, tell you.
And I guess I'll take the dodge action.
Alright. Okay. The wizard creates a wall of fire. Gonna have to look at what it does. Alright, so where's that I'll just cut and paste the description so that
I think it just has to be like a contiguous wall for like 30 or 40 feet, something like that.
yeah, I need to know, some stuff like that. 120 foot range. 60 feet long, 20 feet high, 1 foot thick, or a ringed wall, 20 feet, 20 feet, 20 feet. It's opaque. Alright, so it creates a ringed wall. Fire.
That's 80 feet.
Thank you. That's alt. Try that again. Try that again. How's that work?
It's 20-foot diameter, not 20-foot radius.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
about
pretty much 20-foot diameter. Maybe a little bit big, but it's not too inaccurate.
20-foot diameter, is that just a 10-foot radius then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty much 20 foot. Like, it might not be as big as I've drawn it, but I'm having trouble readjusting it because of roll 20. You get the idea. You are surrounded by fire. The wizard then moves so that he tries to get away as best as he can. Put as much distance between you. But he's still poking his head through windows. He's curious and wants to see you. So he's not as tactically minded as he possibly could be. Zephyr.
Alright, I think I will just risk running through this thing now. I'm going to cast Freedom of Movement on myself.
Alright.
And I will then, just attempt to run through this fire and run to the wall.
Alright. You make a dexterity save for half damage, right?
On a failed save, creature takes 5d8 or half as much. Yeah.
Cool. So dexterity 14, 6 damage if you...
Now, this is a fire spell, so I have advantage on the check, I believe.
Cool.
With the shield.
Yeah, that's right. So you sort of like charge through it, and the shield doesn't extinguish it, but it provides a way.
Yeah. 17.
Beautiful. 6 points of damage. Mild damage.
And I'm just gonna go prone as well, where I am, and sort of take cover behind the wall.
Beautiful. All right. Bjorn, this is an opaque wall of fire.
Alright, so I got a question.
Yeah.
If I am riding it and I took the dodge action, and if Bjorn runs to the fire, do I have advantage on the dex save?
If you're mounted on Bjorn, he becomes a mount and acts on your initiative, but uses his own movement speed. But it has no actions other than dodge, disengage, and something else, which is non-combat. Yeah. If you're mounted, then it becomes a mount.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah. So on your turn, you'll move at his speed rather than your own.
Okay.
Cool. Aldrich.
Yeah.
I will run through the fucking fire.
Alright, you run through the jungle.
And
Party high.
do I do a dex save, right?
You do. DC 14. You take 9 damage as you avoid the worst of it. And you kind of enjoy it, because, pain.
Tickles a bit.
Zach.
And can I see this guy with the hammer?
Pretty clearly. He has +2 to his armor class, but you can still see him pretty easily.
Okay. I will cast. I will hold out my holy symbol and cast inflict wound.
Cool, and you've got a way of doing that ranged, right?
Oh wait,
it's a
no.
melee
Oh,
spell.
it's a melee. Shit. I'm okay. So
No worries at all.
I will cast Guiding Bolt.
Cool. And your bolt comes down at him and strikes with unerring precision.
So it'd be
22.
22. Okay.
Alright. He takes the blow with a disturbing ease, you know, like the same way as any of you might shrug off a single magic missile.
And I'll just duck behind the wall.
Alright. Now, the area is opaque, he can't see through it, correct?
Yeah.
He can cast into it, correct?
Can't see through it, so if the spell says he has to see, he cannot cast it.
Alright, well, let's have a look at how Fireball works.
He has to see the location and cannot cast into it.
We're gonna have to target her.
I think the same is for like a point. Like you need to see the point. You don't cast.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that being
Do
said,
it 1 feet above it, or I don't know. It's,
Yeah, true. He could target it's 20-foot wall, so he could target it above it. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Fireball does have some interesting wording on it because I've heard cases of people being able to cast it while blind. So
Alright, well, I'm just
the
gonna.
spell says you need to see.
Cool. I'll post it, and this isn't me attacking with it. It's just checking it out. Fireball.
Does Fireball have verbal components?
Most spells do. Yeah, so it would. But that didn't help. Okay, try that again. Come on. Look, just. No, just fucking make more mistakes. Come on. Alright. Attack description on. Do it all again. Come on. Oh.
there it goes.
Okay, so bright streak flashes from your finger to a point you choose within range. And then you'd have to look at the spellcasting rules, but I'm not going to do that, that's for sure. And then blossoms, each creature 20-foot radius. As you point out, you could probably target the point above it, the 20-foot point, and still be able to target this group. But what would be much more easy would be to go for these guys. They're behind cover, but as long as it's positioned there, then it's not going to affect the cover or anything. So they will instead drop the fireball on these guys. I'll just check the 20-foot radius, right? 20-foot diameter, I mean, sorry.
No, it's radius.
20-foot radius.
Yeah.
40-foot diameter. Yeah. Alright, well that's not going to matter then. If we place it here, then yeah, that's right, it's going to hit everyone anyway. So yeah.
You can't hit sand, really.
Can't do that?
Yeah, but you can hit everyone else besides you.
That's 40 foot.
Yep.
Yeah, I think we're all barely within its range.
Including the Water Davian Guard.
It's a bit of a long shot, I understand. But if it does require the verbal component,
Yeah?
if Sanj could hear that spell, recognize
Can't.
it given... No, can't hear it?
Not from this distance. no
Okay,
way.
that's fine. No worries.
Yeah. Alright.
Here comes the big ouch.
Fireball.
Oh, yeah.
don't have absorb elements, do you?
Not red.
Doesn't matter.
Damn.
pretty nice saves all around.
Ugh.
Except for that one. I jinxed it by saying that.
I believe that's with advantage, so it's not a critical fail. But
Alright, the water baby and guards are burned.
Is that 14 damage then? For a save, I mean. Gets half down to 14, I believe.
Correct, yeah. Alright. Lucius.
Orbit's completely dead.
Right.
So if we took 14 damage. Okay.
fail is 29.
He flies away on the wind like so much ash, blending in with long hair.
I'm gonna step through the wall of fire and cast Hold Person on the Thayan.
Indeed.
And make him fail with Portent.
He fails immediately. Take 22 points of damage.
I use my reaction to cast Absorb Elements.
The anger within you builds.
Wizards are nuts.
The Thayan only briefly appears through the window, only with one eye, just like briefly looks in, but that's enough for you to go, you! He's not.
Alright, I am going to I pull out a small black feather from inside my coat, squat down and jump up, and as I jump up I'm going to start flying, cast fly, go straight up out of this ring of fire.
You have perfect view of the whole battle.
So I'm going to fly to my 60 feet up, and then as a bonus action on my turn, casting a transmutation spell, I can change. Oh no, it's just a free action. I'm going to change it to give myself proficiency in Constitution saving throws. And then so I've gone 60 feet up with my movement. I've used my action, so that'll be my turn.
Ariel, make a death saving throw. So it's a flat D20. You're hanging in there. What thoughts come to you on your deathbed?
How shit I am as a monk.
How much more you have to learn?
I honestly thought 19 was going to be enough.
He is perhaps a more brutal fighter than any of the adversaries this party has yet faced in hand-to-hand combat. That guy's a bit of a machine. Adastria.
I'm just gonna rub my clothes down for any lingering flames that might be licking up my body. I'm gonna hop over the wall, just take cover on the other side of it. Do I have a clear line of sight to this mage, the far mage?
To this guy here.
This one.
No, that one. A clear line of sight, yes, but he is inside a house, and so he's looking through a window. You have a clear line of sight, but he still has +2 to his armor class for cover.
Okay. It's daytime, right?
It is daytime.
Right. So that's 2 shots with disadvantage. It could work. I could land a hit. I can't really think of anything else that I can. Wait, I could. No, hold on. Yeah, I know. Since my odds of hitting him are pretty low with two disadvantage shots. Instead, I'm gonna. Do I have range for that?
Good question.
Barely, 60 feet.
Good.
I'll cast fairy fire.
Beautiful. He makes a dex save, right?
I believe it is a dex save.
Cool. And he fails, and it is encoded in the lights, so the purple sparkling lights that betray his position.
I'll just throw that out there. So that's my action. And I guess for my bonus action, there's not much I can do with it. So I'm not going to do anything with it. I'm just going to end my turn.
1,000 gold if you betray them! The Red Guard yells to Zevram, figuring that his heritage will be enough to sway his allegiance.
I yell out, 2,000!
Done! And he attacks that Aldrich. Since such a holy man as Aldrich could never be turned from the cause of good and righteous. Yeah, slashes across your... Oh shit! I just thought of something. At the start of your turn, you have to take damage, Adrioch. So you automatically fail one death save upon taking damage.
Oh.
So you've got one pass, one fail.
Yeah, because bleeding. Damn.
Because of bleeding, because he's bleeding.
Oh, gee.
But if I'm dead, I can't bleed.
Just what? But you're not dead. You're dying, and you can bleed while dying.
I don't think any of us are aware of a predicament.
When you saw them go down with a hammer to the head.
Okay.
That's something of a predicament.
Oh yeah, I guess you're right.
Aldrich,
Or they go down and haven't seen them get back up in the next 12 seconds, you know?
yeah, that's a KO.
And the other two moved away. So.
Yeah, that's right. They're not bothered by it anymore. It slashes across your face, opening up a cut both under and above your brow. You begin bleeding. At the start of your turn, you'll take more damage as you lose blood, which of course could cause you to lose any concentration spells you've got active. Having opened up a cut across your brow and cheek, then grabs the hammer with both hands and delivers what is meant to be the crushing blow.
That's at the start of your turn, by the way.
Yeah,
I'm just rolling it now.
Sure.
No worries, so yeah. That's all good, please.
But none of those attacks hit.
No worries. How is it that you managed to defy the odds and survive?
Right after he slashes me in the face, like I raise my shield up and do my best to like block his hammer.
Yeah, no, you're right. You can't roll now. You'll have to roll on your turn. That's okay. All right. Kaisia, it's your go.
I will run through the fire.
All right.
Making 2 dex saves.
Ooh. Well, the fire is hot. It's burning hot. And you are caught in the midst of it. You are set on a flame.
I'm going to use inspiration on that second one.
All right.
Alright.
Beautiful.
And is it the same damage roll for both?
It is, yeah.
Okay. I'm barely alive. And Bjorn's barely alive.
Red.
Barely alive.
Indeed. Red wizards, am I right?
Mm-hmm.
I always hate Thanes on whatever character I play. Now I just have a reason for it.
I will Bjorn here, and I will dismount and try to stab this guy.
Excellent.
Then
That'll
using
do it.
Bjorn's reaction, he will attack as well.
Beautiful. Is that possible? Can a mount attack?
Huh?
But they can,
This is
can't.
my Beastmaster.
Oh, you're a Beastmaster, right? That's totally different. Yeah, the rules are completely. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, cool. Yeah, Beastmaster beasts always go on their owner's initiative, I'm pretty sure. I don't think they have their own initiative.
It says.
Am I wrong?
Initiative and the,
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
I mean, whichever way you want to do it is fine.
I want to do it rules as written. I want to do it the right way. But I just don't.
Okay.
Yeah. Awesome.
Does the bite hit?
Cool. In that case, yeah. So when it comes for you, if you're mounting him, if you're riding him, when it's your move, you won't do anything, and when it's his move, you'll obviously move with him.
Okay. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah. Yes. Pretty short is how it's done. Both of those attacks hit. The 14 hits as well. Alright, but they're middling blows, and this experienced warrior is able to do this all day. The wizard looks at the work that he's done. He looks at the ash on the wind. He looks at the fire that he has so willingly created. And he is satisfied. He is very satisfied indeed. Those of you who have Arcana can make an Arcana check.
He is held. Just
Ooh,
so you
I
remember that.
always forget that. I've even got the icon on him. And so he's thinking about his plan. He's thinking real good. He's got a good plan, I tell you. He's got a good plan.
He can tell us all about it. Back in the brig. Alright. So I think with freedom of movement I can stand up with 5 feet. Is that right?
I don't.
No. It's just I can get out of it. Out of grapples with 5 feet. No, okay. Doesn't do anything to stop me from using half my movement to get up, so I will get up. And then I will jump 15 feet that way, if that's possible.
Yeah,
So it's
absolutely.
not 3 feet tall, right?
Exactly, that's right. Like, unless you're a halfling, it's not going to be.
Can I see Ariak from here?
You can. You see them lying sprawled in a rose bush. It's really
Right.
kind of.
I will cast a healing word at 3rd level then
Awesome.
on Ariok.
You're back in the land of the living.
You heal for 11. And then
Lying
I
a
will
bed of roses.
and then I will vicious mockery this one here.
How could he possibly be mocked by you? What could you possibly think of that would hurt his feeling?
Nice tribal tattoos, douchebag.
Like, I'm 1/16th Uthgard! He's
So, wisdom save where it takes 4 damage. Is that? Yeah, it's 2d4.
and he is 1/16th Uthgard. So there.
That's my turn.
Yawn.
Or we'll just try and take this dude's head off with his claws.
That's traditional?
Yeah.
Bam! Ooh, mold.
There we go. That's a little better.
Alright, yeah, it takes him by surprise and opens up these massive gashes across his face to match the ones he gave Aldrich. You have new scars today, Aldrich. Nice, thanks for remembering.
As I wipe the blood off my face, I take my chain of command and it starts to kind of glow with not even glow, it's like it has like a darkness to it now. I smack him. And I then channel of divinity to do an extra an extra 21 necrotic damage. The 21, 26, 34 damage.
Nice. He wastes away, and what's left is a crippled wreck of a man, sallow and sunken and shriveled, but still determined and strong.
And you still have your bonus action.
Still alive?
Yes.
I will. What the fuck? I will use. I will use Shield of Faith on myself.
Beautiful. Another fireball comes in at pretty much the exact same dimensions as last time, which I think means that Adrastia won't be hit.
Counter spell.
Will I be out of it, or will I be hit?
You're out of it, and so is Zevram. But and I think probably Polar Bear as well is out of it as well.
No, it's
So
getting
the-
counter spell.
Getting counter spell. Your counter spell is effective. At that, the wizard he just falls to the ground, so he can't be seen. He has 100% visibility. Tactics, wizard, tactics.
I'm fireballing the health guy, and he can't even make the saving throw because he's paralyzed.
Kick. Ooh.
You're really
And-
mad.
That doesn't remove his held condition, does it?
No.
Dude,
He is roasting.
familiar. Of course he's mad.
Yeah, He roasts there as he watches the fields aflame. So proud he is, so proud. The irony that he now is the witch who burned. Actually, I'm just imagining the vision. Lucius walking forward like Anakin Skywalker, just so angry. Through the flames, this fireball blows up. He just keeps going. Another fireball's coming out. It holds up his left hand and stops that fireball instantly before it is created. And meanwhile, channels the energy into his right hand and funnels it towards the enemy.
But wouldn't that make the Thayan Obi-Wan? Doesn't that
Yes.
spell doom for Lucius then?
Yes. But he gets to be the villain. Lucius gets to become the villain in the campaign.
I don't know. Darth Vader does slay Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
That's sad.
That's sad, and everyone likes Darth Vader.
Alright, so staying at this height, I'm gonna fly. What's that, 30 to 60? So I'm gonna fly on the other side of this house
Beautiful.
and see, because I don't think I have any idea that this guy is in this building. So.
Oh, you'd see the fireballs come. The first one came out. You would have. Oh no, you didn't see it because you were behind opaque wall. You're right. You're absolutely right.
So instead, I'm gonna begin to ionize the air around me. That begins this reek of ozone. I clap my hands together and I'll shoot out a bright flash as a lightning bolt. Just goes straight for this guy that's being held.
Beautiful.
And given that he's held, I'm pretty sure he can't make the save.
That's correct. He would normally have cover, but without being able to optimize that cover, you just deliver it directly into his flank, and he is turned to ash.
Taste of your own medicine, and I just blow on my fingertip. That's turn.
Ariok, you are lying in a field of roses. The worst of your wounds, including the blood loss, has passed. But you've got these thorns digging all through your fur.
Okay. Will I be able to make it to this guy?
Yeah, if you can move 45, then yes. However, he's inside a house and lying underneath the ground, so...
Well, technically you didn't move last round, right? Because you were unconscious, so you get your feline agility back.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you can stand up and then you still have feline agility.
Yeah, I didn't use feline agility in my first run.
In the round before either.
Okay.
I just boozied, that's all. Just waltzed.
So if I go to there, I won't be able to see him?
Yeah, you don't know until you're there. You won't know until you're there, yeah.
Because I don't know if I want to go near this big guy. How's the big guy looking?
Ragged, but determined, like fighting for his life.
Okay, well, I'll just die again.
Now we're talking. You leap over the rubble of the half-built building. He turns to face you.
Okay, 2 attacks.
Yeah. The first one hits and the third one hits. If there's a third one.
Well, I was going to say 2 attacks, then a flurry of blows, so I get 2 more.
Yeah, I think maybe a flurry of blows. Cool.
And I can use Stunning Strike.
Alright. On both of them or one of them? 2 of them hit.
I'll use it. The first one don't hit.
Cool. If he fails the first one, you'll have advantage on the attacks.
It does matter how you do this, in what order you do this, because if you stun him, then you have advantage, right? So it's better to call out if you're stunning someone as you're hitting.
Okay.
Yeah, monks are you're better off systematically going 1 attack, that's clear what you're doing, go to the next one, because just for the reasons everyone. So this is on the first one. The first one's a stunning strike. Makes his Constitution saving throw. That'll pass, right? DC. Okay? Find out. We'll have to find out your DC.
Oh, it's
I think it's 8 plus
8
your proficiency plus your wisdom.
Okay, so 8. No, it's wisdom. So it's 8 plus my proficiency in what? 8 and 8. That's 16, and then my proficiency is 3. So that's.
It's not your wisdom score, but your wisdom bonus. So do you have
so it's 8 plus 10 plus 3, 13.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that sounds right. DC 13 sounds about right. And so he passes the first stun, but you nonetheless you hit him a second time, and yeah, he's taken worse blows than that. Well, what's the total damage from those 2 hits though?
6 plus 7 is 14. 13 plus 8 is 22, I think.
It might only be 7 plus 8. The 15 and the 16 hit.
15 is 7 plus 6.
Yeah. Someone might maybe explain how that works.
The plus 6 is for the crit, so it's only 7. Because it's for the 15.
So it's 7 plus 8, 16, 15.
Yep, cool. And so that's how it works. He's swaying, but he's still standing as the assault comes from the rear and from the front and from seemingly all sides. What? Adrastia.
Okay, so I can't see that wizard anymore.
No. Completely
So
blocked.
I'm gonna help everybody finish off the current threat. I'm gonna move right here, so that there's nobody standing directly behind the brute in case I should miss.
Yeah.
And I'm wincing and, struggling to see through the sunlight as I shoot him twice with disadvantage.
Excellent. Yeah, you've got as clear a shot as you can possibly have, but the conditions are so imperfect. Miss and miss.
It's a good thing I repositioned before I took the shots.
He takes an offhand slash at the tabaxi, almost to threaten her to stay away, and then focuses the majority of his attacks on Aldrich.
Does not hit.
Oh, really? So close! Now the 19 has rewarded you after all. Aldrich. Oh, lol.
Wow.
All right.
Yeah, now he rolls shit. He couldn't roll shit when I first attacked.
That's it. He misses your whiskers, your face by an inch, and just trims your whiskers. You lose the edge of your the ends of your whiskers. They shorten by 2 inches, and as they drift away on the wind, he grabs his hammer with both hands and swings it with all of his might at Aldrich, and the slippery grass from sweat means his maul flies somewhere over here. Oh no!
It's like when you go golfing,
Yes,
let go of the golf club.
That's it. There.
So, seeing him in a bind now, I'll take my spear and try to stab him with it. Right in the chest.
Doesn't.
Then I'll yell at Bjorn to go find the wizard.
The living wizard, you should say?
Yeah.
Because he'll just wander over to any lizard and start
He
eating.
runs. He takes 5 steps, turns back at you. Well, wait, you mean the apprentice, right?
Bjorn's the smart one of the two, so I think he knows what I mean.
He's the one who tells you which wizard.
Yeah.
Alright, Severin.
I yell out to Bjorn, "Get him, boy! Get him!" And he's gonna have bardic inspiration then.
As you run over, as you run over there, Bjorn, the wizard's just starting to get to his feet. He's gonna do the most beautiful fireball right about here. So as you charge towards him, the earth shaking underneath your mighty paws, you can see him kneeling and just leaning up over the ledge of the window. He is currently prone. You have advantage on melee attacks, disadvantage on range.
And Bjorn will just go straight for the bite.
I thought he might use his laser eyes, but he casts shield.
Inspiration still anyway, whatever.
Fuck hell, was it a D8? D6?
Yeah, I believe it's a D8 at my level, yeah.
You break through the shield and shatter it like water bubble.
Crunch.
You are eating a wizard.
That's not right. Why is there not?
No, it's rolling 0. That's just the modifiers there.
Yeah.
Wait, what's
I
the
see.
mod?
It adds proficiency to the damage. So
Oh,
it's
right, okay.
Oh, right, yeah.
Strength and then proficiency.
So
I really like
7... Sorry.
1d6.
Is it 1d6?
1d6 on a bike? Oh, yeah, that
Yeah.
makes sense.
He's a normal. That's recent. Cool.
So,
There you go.
nice. 13.
You are ravaging this poor, innocent red wizard.
Just hear him squealing.
Is this guy with the hammer dead or is he just unconscious?
He's currently got an ice pick through his chest, or a glaive through his chest, and he's being lifted up and held, and he looks over at you and gargles something.
I'm going to take the ice pick out of his chest. And then
slowly remove it. It makes a sound.
Then I will cast Revivify on him.
What?
We did not see that one coming.
I
You could
mean,
have used a normal healing spell, but
Well, I didn't know if he was
Okay.
dead or if he, I don't know. But we need someone for questioning.
I think that's why Aldrich was asking. Is he dead or dying?
okay.
Because it's either that or I use Spare the Dying. So I pull out the pick out of his chest.
Spare the dying is cheaper.
Yeah,
Just keep that in mind.
I'm rich.
I'm Aldrich. Yeah, that was like a joke. Anyway, you have captured.
That went right over my head. I didn't get it.
Mine too.
Oh, I
Really?
got it right away.
I'm
That
glad
was
you
visible.
explained it.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, I just keep my foot on him right after I revive him.
Beautiful. The Red Apprentice shall not die today. He can't fly, bitches! You have an attack of opportunity as the wizard flies away.
I don't think he flies away.
Oh, but he's flapping his wings so hard.
He's like flapping, runs past Bjorn.
He runs straight into the civilians or the warriors who probably spear him to death. They finally react like they're getting their shit together. Finally.
Bjorn's just really confused by it.
Oh, I got a
Just
good.
kind of tilts his head and looks.
Humans, I don't know. Battle is won.
Wizards.
This is it. Well, we're done. Actually, this is it.
And I tie up the man with the hammer.
Beautiful. You have a captive.
Yeah, I guess I'll check this wizard, the one who died. I killed right at the start. I assume he's dead by now.
They are dead. They are. You note that the wizard has virtually nothing on them. They have their robes. They have their spell component pouch. Basically nothing else. A water skin and enough rations for a single day. That's all.
Oh, wow.
Does Athayan have a spell book?
Does not have a spell book, nor staff, nor scroll, nor potion, nor not even a simple magical dagger. It's
I see what's happening here. This is like a Suicide Squad.
Yeah,
Right.
just to scare the populace.
Well,
Yeah,
to
this
do
seems like a
maximum.
suicide mission.
It's maximum damage
Yeah,
without.
it's sabotage. That's all it is.
Yeah.
No regard for life. Flying up this high, DM, can I keep an eye out over the surrounding area just for any more of these villainous cretins?
you satisfy yourself that they were acting independent.
I'd like to save as many of these halberdiers as I can with some healing spells.
Alright. Make an arcana check or medicine or something. Yeah, you too.
Well, I'm happy to use up spell slots to like heal them up.
Yeah, but in that case, yeah, just maybe roll the healing, the numbers. Yeah, roll the dice in one way or the other.
Sure.
This is the spell I would be using.
I help him heal.
Yeah, healing, perfect. Yeah,
That should be able to heal.
considerable.
as many as possible.
Yeah, basically, that's right. And so, any who weren't killed outright are probably healed between the combined efforts of the party. Of a force 100 strong, they probably lost 5, a relatively insignificant number. They're tough soldiers to begin with. Each of them is tough enough to not be in the watch, but in the guard. So, but the ones who took the fireball directly, there was little hope for.
Yeah. I'm just thinking like these are the guys that we want to keep alive because they're trained soldiers, not peasants. As callous as that sounds.
But yeah, it's just a tactical reality.
I revive 2 that died if I can.
Oh, the soldiers, the Wardavians.
Yeah.
How many diamonds do you have on you?
They convert to your religion immediately.
Yes. Tell them to thank Leviatar and spread the word.
Aye, they do. Aye, they do. They say, I've been to the Leviatar temple. He says, I became a man there, if you know what I mean.
I sort of go up to Aldrich and say, you're doing good work, but are you going to keep any of those diamonds for us?
Are you converting to Leviatar?
Not today, I think.
Then
Talk to me tomorrow.
no diamonds for you.
After you revive me, sure.
There you go.
And how are we all feeling? Ariok, you look like a. No offense.
I'm fine.
Good.
I'll use. I can use the. I have a couple things I can do, so you don't have to worry.
Aldrich, might I suggest something? Or is I'm going to look around. Not that I necessarily noticed this, but is there anything left of Orbit?
Memories.
Oh.
Damn it!
Oh, that's unfortunate. Can you resummon him or it?
No.
No, it. Well, you might want to explain where you got it from, Lucius.
No, he can't be resummoned.
Oh, that's a shame.
I still don't think they should have had the jump on us like that. Because when you rolled stealth for them, one of them was a 9, one of them was a 7. That's not even enough to pass like lowest passive perception.
Well, it's the way it turned out. I mean,
Yeah.
Arctic gets to decide on those rules.
They had disguise, self, and invisibility.
I mean, have a chat after the game if you want to discuss those rules. I think it was alright. It's just, sometimes it doesn't favour the party.
Yeah, like with disguise self and invisibility and being distracted by the old guy's story, I think it's not too much of a surprise that we didn't notice him.
Anyway, I need to head off because I forgot that it's actually Mother's Day, so I'm in a little bit of trouble.
Oh shit, is it?
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I'm
it
going to
is.
go to Woolworths and buy some flowers.